The standings have been shuffled at the Cairns Cup in St. Louis. A flurry of wins created a massive tie for second, but Zhongyi still out front, getting another full point to take her place alone at the top of the leaderboard. Day 5 of Fantastic Chess coming up next.
Hello chess fans and welcome to Day 5 of the Cairns Cup. 3 decisive results have shaken up the field with Zhongyi the clear leader. Now it's round 5, the final round before the rest day. Will the players take it easy or will they battle it out? Now let's go to the studio and start all the action.
Hello everyone and welcome to Day 5 at the Cairns Cup. I'm Paikidze and I'm here with Almira Skripchenko. Almira, rest day is coming up, but yesterday we had so many upsets.
Hello Nazi, hello everyone, and yes, yesterday's round was a dramatic one. Sacrifices have been made, Greek gifts were accepted, blunders, we've seen it all. But I think that I wanted to underline is that there is such a thin line between a triumph and a heartbreak. And Nazi, this is chess.
It is indeed, and we're going to see lots more of it. Tell us about the standings.
Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at the standings. And Zhongyi is our sole leader with 3.5 points out of 4, followed by Bibisara, Assaubayeva, Divya, Deshmukh, Stavroula, Tsolakidou, Alice Lee, 2.5 points, so Zhongyi is leading by a full point. Muzychuk and Carissa are on 50%, 2 out of 4, followed by Humpy, Koneru with 1.5 points out of 4. A disappointing result for Vaishali Rameshbabu, World Championship challenger. She has only 1 point out of 4, and the former world champion Alexandra Kosteniuk is yet to open the score. She has to stop the bleeding.
Incredible to see a former world champion and world championship challenger on the bottom of the list. Almira, tell us about the format of this event.
The format of this event is a classical 10-player round robin. Players get 90 minutes for their first 40 moves, then 30 minutes for the rest of the game. However, there is always a 30-second increment from move 1. There are no draw offers, even if the free day is tomorrow. Players get 1 point for a win, half a point for a draw, and 0 if they lose their game.
And what about the remaining schedule?
So let's have a look. Today is our 5th round. Tomorrow is the rest day. Everyone is dreaming about it. The tournament will resume on the 16th of August. And if the tournament is still tight, the players are going to be necessary. They're going to be organized on the 20th of August.
Thank you, Almira. And as you already highlighted, Zhongyi is leading the event, already distancing herself from the rest of the pack. But today is going to be a very important match. She is facing Alice Lee. And let's take a look at their head-to-head. They've played 2 classical games before, and Zhongyi has defeated Alice Lee once. The other game ended in a draw. As you can see, there's a big rating difference between them.
Yes, but I think that Alice Lee is not shy at all. She has her record of beating former world champions and even current world champions in the last World
Speed Chess
Championship. And she is the World Championship slayer.
Yes, she is. We'll see if she can defeat another former world champion today. And Almira, I want to talk about yesterday's shocking finish we had. The last game was going on between Carissa and Divya Deshmukh. Carissa was winning, but then a miracle happened.
Indeed, and we were analyzing this game. Carissa just made this very natural move, King G4, and I'm not afraid to say that I tried this in our analysis. This was the first move I've been looking at. However, this was a terrible blunder. This move does not win anymore.
Yes, she's blundering that pawn on B4, and she didn't realize it right away. But you will see the moment when she felt like, oh, I just blundered the pawn. I'm no longer winning. This is now a draw.
This is the realization.
Absolute heartbreak. And we all know what that feels like.
Yes, but I think that Carissa has proven on several occasions that she can come back even stronger. So let's have maybe to look at the pairings.
Yes, tell us about round 5 pairings.
So the round 5 features, first of all, Alice Lee taking on Zhongyi with the white pieces. Divya Deshmukh is playing against Bibisara Assaubayeva. Alexandra Kosteniuk is playing with the white pieces against Stavroula Tsolakidou, and I think the whole world is watching today's round. They're cheering for Alexandra. Anna Muzychuk is playing against Carissa, and Vaishali Rameshbabu is taking on her compatriot Humpy Koneru.
Incredible games coming up. I can't wait to see what happens. And Almira, tell us, what are these players fighting for?
Nazib, we are getting closer to the money. Money. $250,000 in total. The winner of this event gets $60,000. Second place is awarded $50,000 and third place gets $40,000, and there is a winner's bonus of $5,000. The stakes are high, yes?
Absolutely, a lot to play for. Thank you to St. Louis Chess Club for sponsoring such a wonderful event. And let's take a look at the playing hall. Players are arriving. Irene mentioned in the Open that since tomorrow is the rest day, will the players finish earlier to go to the rest day or fight until the very end since they can have extra sleep time tomorrow?
Well, I think that the games are going to be fighting ones. Zhongyi is already at the board, and I feel that she's playing very confidently, so she will, of course, try to equalize with black first, a very classical approach, but then she might fight for a win even with the black pieces. So I think that Alice Lee will have a very solid opening choice today.
I agree with you. Of course, Tan must be feeling amazing with +3 score after only 4 rounds, leading the entire event with at least 1 point. And she has faced Alice. We saw their head-to-head. She has a +1 score, which also psychologically helps.
And Zhongyi is wearing one of the traditional Chinese dresses, very beautiful. But now you have Alexandra Kosteniuk on your screen.
She seems to be in good spirits, which is great to see. She's such a fighter. Yeah, she's having a rough tournament, but we know she can beat anybody in this tournament.
Of course. So the whole world is waiting for her comeback in this event. She is facing Stavroula Tsolakidou, who had a very good event so far. Maybe her start was a bit shaky. However, yesterday she won against Alice Lee, and she is facing Alexandra Kosteniuk today.
One of the most experienced players in this event, and I think out of all the players, she's the one who played at the St. Louis Chess Club first.
So she has played many Cairns.
Yes, and she's been coming to St. Louis for a long time, and we're so used to seeing her play on the highest level for decades now.
Of course, and she's such an inspiration for us all. By the way, I think Alexandra Kosteniuk is one of the most titled players, chess players combined. She has won the World Championship, the World Cup, the European Championship, national championships, tournaments.
What more can you?
Yes, I can go on for hours. Yes.
And here we have Humpy Koneru. I think she's been India's #1 for a very long time, and she's going to represent India again at the upcoming Olympiad. She has won the Cairns Cup before.
Yes, she is a very experienced player, winning Grand Prix series, Grand Prix tournaments, crossing the 2600 barrier. By the way, she was the second player in history, in women's chess history, to cross the 2600 barrier after Judith Polgar.
Wow.
This says a lot.
Yeah, that's historic. In this tournament, she's struggling a bit. She's at -1. But she did have chances in the first round. For example, she was totally winning against Stavroula, but it slipped away from her.
And she's staring, maybe not staring, but looking at her opponent, Vaishali Rameshbabu, who is our World Championship challenger.
And I think this tournament for her is a great practice because she is facing the top level players. It's like you mentioned before, it's almost like the candidates tournament.
Vaishali recently played in Biel, where she also faced Alexandra Kosteniuk and Carissa Yip. But it was a hybrid tournament. Yes, you had rapid time controls, classical time controls, and also chess 960. And it seems like somewhat like Gukesh, you know, after winning the World Championship, like Vaishali, after winning the candidates, she's struggling because I think that she cannot reveal all of her preparation. It's very important to hide your ideas before the match, but at the same time, you have to show all your potential.
Absolutely, and she must be feeling a lot of pressure.
Yes.
And this is going to be our marquee matchup, Alice Lee against Zhongyi.
May I call them Artemis and Athena? You know, Artemis was known for fighting against the giants, and symbolically, Zhongyi is leading the event, so she is Athena, and our
it's a great comparison.
dragon. Yes, so it will be a very interesting game.
Absolutely, as all players are seated, and I think they're waiting for the ceremonial bell ringing.
Yes. Yesterday we had a chance, yes, to visit and
the
to watch
hall,
the
yes.
games. Yes.
Yeah, we love the St. Louis Chess Club and newly renovated club. It's just beautiful. Players are very comfortable.
We have a handshake and
Games
knight
are off.
f3.
And let's not forget Alice Lee is coming off a very difficult loss yesterday, but hopefully she's moved on. And she's fully focusing on today's game.
And starting the game with knight f3, which is a solid approach, of course, but it allows to avoid a few lines. So Alice may still play d4 later, but
She's a Catalan player.
yes, she's expecting knight f6 and e6, I think, on Zhongyi's behalf. But you see that Tan paused for a while, so knight f6 is on the board. Let's see if I am guessing this right. Nazir, what do you think?
I think you are.
So
Well,
c4. And
So now if Tan goes c5, we'll no longer see Catalan. It will be the English opening.
I think Tan, well, normally she
goes
plays
e6, right?
e6, yes. But
I'm expecting e6, d5.
of course, these players are so versatile. They can play any opening. But
They also like surprising each other.
the thing is, after, let's say, e6, if you want to play the Nimzo Indian and knight c3 will follow. If you play bishop b4, you know, Alice didn't play d4 yet, so she might choose something different, yes.
More like English style
Yes,
opening.
or even queen c2, prepare e4 immediately, yes. So leaving the pawn on d2 for the moment. Even queen b3 is a move here.
Yes.
So I think Zhongyi is trying to understand if her opponent is
Trying to get her in some
yes.
preparation, right?
So we have a few new features, yes, on our screen. Standings, openings, results, everything to keep you entertained.
Yeah, thank you to our graphic design for doing a fantastic job. And yeah, Zhongyi, she's definitely fine with the draw result. As you can see, she has a full point lead and she's playing with the black pieces against the player who is chasing her, sharing second at the moment. But this is going to be a big fight. Alice doesn't play for draws.
No. But we've seen that from her previous games that, especially against Alexandra Kosteniuk, that she was playing a rather quiet opening. She has chosen to play an exchange Slav. Maybe she was surprised.
Did
in
work
this
out
game.
for her at the
Yes,
end.
exactly. So I think that she doesn't feel the need like to over push.
Yes.
Yes, she is playing the position.
Well, while Tan is thinking on move 2, let's go around the room and check other games. I'm going to jump to Alexandra. Actually, Divya Deshmukh against Bibisara looks very interesting.
The It's the least that I can say when I see the queen on e3.
Exactly. So it started as the timeout of Sicilian. Well, without knight f3, so Divya is taking on d4 with the queen, knight c6, and now queen e3. You don't see this on move 5 very often.
Yes, but Nazi, have a look. Divya played this move knight c3, the second move, which Alexandra Kosteniuk used against her. So
just yesterday.
So no, it was before that, just in the previous round.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So then Divya was very well prepared, and she has shared with us that she played this opening when she was a kid.
Yes.
So knight c3. Actually, you're asking your opponent, are you going to play knight c6, or you will switch to e6 here, knight c6, and let's say if knight f3, then e5. Yes, if you want to avoid the Sveshnikov, and yes, a lot of different lines. But here, Bibisara stays true to her first choice against Anna Muzychuk. She also played e6. So I think that Divya is trying to trap Bibisara with this queen d4, knight c6, and queen e3. Before, this move was not even possible, I think, but now we know that
with engines everything is possible.
Yes, with engines everything is possible, and sometimes in the lines with the queen on d3, the queen quickly moves to g3. So even if the queen is now on e3, it will move to g3, I think, at some point.
And on your screens you can see they wrote so far how they got here. You can see Divya Deshmukh started with a win, then a loss, a win. Oh yeah, we were saying that she's the only player who doesn't make draws, but then that game did end in a draw. That's why I'm looking at it like, when did she make a draw? But actually I want to point out, she had 3 black pieces already.
Yes, so she's having her second white, and I was wrong, actually. Look at this move. After knight f6, Divya decided to play knight f3. So the most principled move, and I was a Taimanov and Paulsen player and 4 knights player, I've played it all, so I would try bishop b4 here to pin the knight immediately.
And then plan on playing d5,
yes, of course,
right?
d5 is the threat. And actually, I think that queen e3 has this idea behind that if you play d5 immediately, then you cannot take with the pawn. Yes, so you are forced to take with the knight and put the queen on d5, which will be threatened at some point. Let's say queen d5.
It looks like the Scandinavian at this point.
But then I was thinking, how about bishop c5 here?
Because our queen isn't that great either, right?
So queen e2, let's say castle, and we castle as well, I think. Yes. So,
this looks okay. This kind of reminds me of Stavroula's game against Alice.
Yes.
Except we're missing the pawn on e5, a very important pawn.
Yeah, we have the dark square bishops on the board still, and I think maybe this changes something. Let's say the bishop will go on e4, and I can see that the knight can jump on g5 immediately. Can we sacrifice, or it doesn't work once again? Let's say if you do something like a6,
a6, probably premature.
Yes, probably. So knight g5 and simply king
g8
because
to g8,
you have queen f5. Yes, so I wanted to be sure that this doesn't work. So knight f3, maybe bishop b4 or bishop b7. But the thing is, if first of all, she avoids the line with bishop c5. We've seen it from the previous rounds that was Bibisara's preparation. So players who are very often tempted to play those lines with bishop c5 and bishop b4, they don't like to play bishop b7 and d6, Nazi. So I think it's a clever opening choice if she avoids those lines. So
and also I think Divya's idea is to just very quickly castle long and start the attack on the king side.
Yes, so, and maybe Bibisara, we'll play castle here. Can she play d5 later? Let's see. Castle
and
for
you
black.
Can see after knight f3, Bibisara is thinking 2 minutes and she's decided bishop b4. Of course, Almira was right. The players don't like bishop e7.
Yeah, St. Louis Oracle.
Yes.
So I think that bishop d2 is a very interesting continuation. So let's say
it's the most natural to me. But no, Divya is prepared. She's gone for a3 and asking question, are you going to take, step back?
If you take, you can actually take with the queen. Yes.
So how about I kick your queen out first? So I want to double your pawns.
Oh, it's in it. So if I, let's say, if I make something like queen f4, you will
Then I'm
take.
taking. Yes, I am wasting a tempo with this knight g4 move, but
h5 you want to play?
h5 I was considering. Maybe even queen f6. What about this?
Oh, wow. Queen f6, yes.
Yeah, if I can trade the queens and I messed up your pawn structure, I'm quite happy with the black.
Yes, you've destructured me somehow. However, I feel that this is a very unbalanced position, especially with the queens off the board. The dark square bishop will be able to deploy its potential. So I think that if you want to take on c3, maybe you need to keep your queens on the board. But what else do I have? If I play something like artificial, like queen d3, I think bishop c5, you want it attacking on f2.
And you don't have an easy way, nice way to defend it. You want to play bishop b3, but I think you're forced to go
knight d1.
knight d1 and then...
So I am almost forced to play queen f4, or if I want to trade queens, queen g5. But I like queen f4.
Yeah, and of course I'm going to take. Both of my pieces are hanging. And yes, queen f6 looks good. Could I try queen a5?
Okay, queen a5, bishop d2.
And then put one of the knights on e5.
Yes, so here should I play...
Because I don't think you're castling long anymore.
But, you know, well, it's not the French defense, but the French defense players, they're used to play with those horrible pawns, even though that it's compensated by a wonderful center. So I'm thinking, can I go queen g3 and using this standard
Can I still
maneuver? Yes.
Castle? Because you don't have bishop h6 yet.
No. Yes, here I somehow need to... leave the knights there. I can't exchange on e5. Maybe knight d4. Let's say using this outpost.
And you're not worried that you haven't castled yet? You're still 2 moves away?
It's not that I'm not worried for the moment. I have to admit that I don't know where to put the bishop. Actually, I don't know if it belongs to e2 or to d3, so maybe I want to see your next move. Okay,
let's make a normal development move.
And also I thought that the queen on g3 protects on c3, and when I will castle, maybe I will play bishop h6, but for the moment, of course, it's
you can play bishop b2 castle, and I can see f4 coming.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this is looking good for white. I don't think I can really punish you for messing up the pawn structure so early. And my bishop's still passive. Yeah, I would rather be white here with the 2 bishops and the potential attack on the king side.
So I think, yes, you shouldn't take on e5, because trading these knights might simplify the task for black.
But also, what if simply Bibisara goes bishop a5? Then I don't think we're going to see b4, probably bishop d2, right?
But I think maybe including a3 is a good thing, even if you will castle long. What
is
do you
it though?
think?
Because I was thinking bishop didn't have a way back to c5. Now I do have some ideas of bishop b6, knight g4. So that worries me a bit.
Okay, so let's say if I play bishop d2, you will start with knight g4 or bishop b6.
Let's castle first.
Okay, castle, long castle, but I will have queen a1.
And knight g4.
Okay, knight g4, I wanted to play queen a1.
And I think you have to sack this pawn.
Yes. It's like I'm losing it in a very dramatic way.
Yes, and be careful to not lose more than a pawn.
Yes.
Of course, you can save the pawn, but nobody wants this. This is awful.
No, I was looking at the move knight a4. So you will take bishop f2. That's the only way to to force you to take with the bishop. And then, okay, but then maybe I should have played queen e2, and
you would have bishop h3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, queen e2 is probably
I
stronger.
have bishop e1 later, yes.
Let me change up a little bit. Let me put the queen on b6.
So
now if you go
bishop e1, yes.
I will take on
yes,
c3.
You can take on c3. No, this is a horrible position. Wow, that's a very tricky opening.
That's why I'm curious why the inclusion of a3. And yes, Bibisara has just stepped back with the bishop on a5.
And what if I decide to play bishop d3, then you will take on c3. even, yes.
I might do
here.
this take in e5, either right away or after d6.
Yeah, actually, I think that this is a very precise way to play against this structure, because you don't want to play d5. Maybe you don't want to play knight g4, e5, and d6. I think e5 and d6.
Yes.
Because you will always be able to defend this pawn. Let's say you will castle d6, knight e8, just in case. And white doesn't have a knight on c3 to jump on d5. You're right, yes. I
think this is like a typical rouser Najdorf type of Sicilian position, but you don't have the knight to take advantage of the d5 square.
But then maybe let's try once again bishop d2, and we will move on, just because I'm very curious what will happen after.
Yeah, we looked at castle, and then knight g4 was the idea, so maybe you need to make some prophylaxis move.
Can I make
but h3 doesn't feel right.
By the way, Nazi, I think that we missed another thing, that the queen on e3 also supports e5. Can I play it? Because you can take, and then how am I taking on c3? I was thinking.
Yeah, if you take with the bishop.
But then knight d5, yes.
If you take with the queen, I've got knight d4.
But okay, bishop c3. Let's see. If I will manage to keep my pawn on e5, something like queen d2.
Of course, I'll trade this.
And I want to castle now, and because you cannot play d6 here. So, okay, I like this position much better because it looks more like the French defense. So you can castle long, play bishop d3 and h4.
Yes, white's plans are pretty clear, but so is black's, I believe. Rook c8 is coming, and b5, b4 needs to be
a3 is actually maybe a weakness here.
It can be a hook after b5, b4. All right, Almira, where else should we go and check some of the other games?
I think that we should have a look at the game between Anna Muzychuk and Carissa Yip, just because I think that I wanted to be sure that Carissa is playing well. You know, she decided to play the same opening as Bibisara. However, you see that she started with knight f6 here. Bibisara started with knight c6, and Anna immediately chose the move bishop d3. So remember, I said to you that you can have this line and put the knight on d2 and not c3.
Yes.
And this is what exactly happened. So Anna decided to have this setup on the board. It's a very flexible setup because it allows you to play c4 in one move, like to challenge the center. You don't even play e5 at some positions, so you leave the tension in the center. But Carissa is looking confident. What do you think, Nadia?
It's too early to tell. We are only 8 moves in, and there's plenty of games still in the database.
Yes, you can develop your bishop in e7. I think it's the most standard way to play.
Bishop e7, let's say white castles. We do always have to watch out for e5. Maybe it's good right now. Knight d7 and...
I thought that Anna wants to play c4. Yes, because here g6 is something.
I'm not checkmating you, but, you know, I'm tickling you on the king side.
Yeah.
And yes, c4 is still an option. I want to put one of the rooks on d1 probably.
But I think
maybe the knight will head here.
This is one option, but then if you want to play c4, maybe you should leave the pawn on e4. I think that Anna is a player who wants to alter the pawn structure because you have this powerful center. So let's say if after c4 you will force black to take on e4 or to take on c4, as you can see, the structure is not easy to play with. Yes, so.
And I want to also highlight that Anna Muzychuk's score so far is perfect. It's all draws. Very solid.
By the way, Nazi, I've looked up their games in the database, and they only have a few blitz and rapid encounters. So this is, I think, their first classical game.
So they're not very familiar with each other. It's still very early in the opening. We'll come back to this game, but I want to check Kosteniuk's game against Stavroula. I see some pieces already misplaced in that game. Let's back up to see how they got here. It was e4, e5, the Scotch gambit.
But then bishop, oh, I played this line with knight b3 and bishop b4, c3, bishop b7, okay.
f4 also?
No, I have never tried f4 here, so it's a very interesting try. It's like I remember that bishop d3, I tried bishop d3 here, but okay, let's say it's a very aggressive try in this position.
This last move, knight h6, is what's puzzling me. Why was Stavroula so afraid of knight going to f6?
Well, knight f6, maybe you simply castle, and then I think, Nadia, I know the explanation, but because one of the standards ideas in this opening is to play f5 for black. So
on that case, it makes a perfect sense
exactly.
to put the knight on h6.
It's not that I am like inventing something new. I know because I've studied those positions, but this move looks very strange. Yes, if you are looking at this position for the first time. So let's say, or you will play d5 and your knight will go to f5, depending on your opponent. So if Alexandra, for example, has this Maruti bind, she will put the...
Oh, so for example, something like this can happen?
Yes, it could, but like not immediately. But I think if Alexandra plays c4, for example, she stops... so she has this pawn on e4 and c4, the Maruti binds, then you cannot, like, not in this position, she plays knight c3, then you can no longer count on d5. Then you have to play f5 at some point. So just you have to adjust to your opponent's play. So let's have a look. Knight h6, and Alexandra is thinking, by the way. But what happens, let's say, if you try to punish black immediately? Let's say you castle with white.
Also looking at their because scores so far, just still in disbelief in Kosteniuk's performance so far.
And look at that. Stavroula is feeling very confident. It's very rare that she is going for a walk at such an early stage of the game, and here you are. That was my question. Castle, and can you punish black immediately by playing f5? Let's say if black castles.
Yes, I think that's why black should maybe rush and play d5 right away, because you're right here. How do you solve this problem? You have to go bishop g5, because you don't want to allow bishop h6.
Exactly. So, but maybe then castle is the wrong move, yes? So if Alexandra doesn't play c4, if like she just castled, maybe Stavroula has to play something else. Yes, so d5, and then the knight is going to f5.
Yes, after e5, knight or the bishop? Maybe we start with the bishop. This reminds me of Caro-Kann a little bit. Of course, the pawn's not on c6, but yeah, and maybe knight will actually go to g4 at some point if your bishop develops on e3, something like this. Can I do it right away? I found a draw.
Yes?
You know, the Sicilian draw.
Yes, but yes, then I
can guarantee you that's not going to happen.
Yes, I think then Stavroula will go d5 immediately if she's still in her preparation. So
I really doubt she was expecting this line. It's such a niche choice because Kosteniuk's such a versatile player. She can play any opening.
Nadia, I think that, for example, if black castles and if white doesn't choose the most principal line with f5, let's say you play knight d2, something, but then I think black plays f5. Yes, what do you think here? Supporting. So you see, according to the move, to the next move or your opponent, your plans change dramatically. So we've seen already d5, and bishop f5, f5, and maybe even knight g4 at some point. Yes, so it's a very interesting opening.
It is indeed, and we'll see what Stavroula chooses. There's still some games we haven't looked at.
Yes, I think that we should look at the game between Vaishali, Rameshbabu, and Humpy, Koneru. You have this structure we're always talking about. So we have the
The Catalan.
The Catalan, but which started with d4, not knight f3, of course. Then Humpy almost always, I think, takes on c4. She goes for the concrete lines, and she challenges the center with c5.
Yeah, I've played this before with white, maybe even with black. This is all theory. Yeah, this is very well-known theory, and this endgame is analyzed all the way to move 50.
So,
but given their time management, maybe Humpy was not expecting this line and is trying to remember it.
But so let's see. Humpy, of course, knows how to play those structures, but we can see that if she plays rook b8 here, for example, knight c4, getting this pawn back, protecting on b2 at the same time. So maybe she can play bishop a6 here, and with massive trades. Let's say if you play rook c1, protecting the knight, then you will probably take on b2, you will take on c6. Humpy can take on e2, and I think, yes, this game will end in a draw eventually.
Yeah, I can probably take a pawn, but yeah, it should still be a draw. However, I would be a little bit worried with black because it's the a pawn with this bishop.
Okay, but can I play?
Maybe we don't have to lose this pawn.
Yes, a5 and rook e5.
Yes, that's, but I can start with rook c5.
Yes.
And you don't have rook a8, of course. And here I will be getting that pawn back. But you know what? You can activate maybe very quickly without blundering the mate on the last rank. Let's play something like g5.
G5 was ambitious move. I was thinking more of g6 or h5.
I want to keep the pawns on the dark squares if I can.
Yes, and you have
with
knight
the activity.
g4.
Maybe I have to force rook a8, but then it's just too few pieces.
By the way, I think that if I try to win this pawn on f2, maybe it will get dangerous. Let's say knight g4. Bishop f3 is losing, yes, of course. I have to wake up. Where's my coffee?
Still early in the day.
Yeah. Nazi, and then maybe let's get back to our game between Alice Lee and Tan Zhongyi, because they, I think that Tan actually played b6 on the second move, you see?
Oh, wow.
Yes. And somehow they managed to transpose it to a very well-known theoretical line.
So Indian,
yes.
Right?
So where you...
All right. We're up to date with the players. Yeah, there's still like hundreds of games in the database.
But I'm a bit surprised. Maybe Alice actually won the opening battle, because even though that the bishop is on g2, but I feel like with such powerful center, she will play bishop b2. Like, this might be a one-sided game. What do you think, Nazi? Because you will, like in Grunfeld.
I was going to say, this is like Grunfeld. The only difference is the bishop's not fianchettoed.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
You will
Two
have
result
to play,
game.
but you will have to. I know that, of course, while playing against this center, White always dreams about pushing d5. By the way, Nazi, that's what I wanted to illustrate. Let's say, let's put the bishop on b2, and let's make a move, something which will illustrate my point. Let's say a6. Of course, we don't need it. So you can play d5. Let's say you will take on d5 with the pawn, and very often, of course, you can take, but if the knight is on a5. Okay, knight, no. Let's do it. No. I know how to illustrate this point. Yes, play knight a5 instead of a6. No, instead of a6. So d5, e takes d5, and here you have this positional sacrifice e5. Yes, and knight d4, e6, and of course not now, but in the spirit of the position. But White is dreaming, of course, to play d5 and to take on d5 and to create a pass pawn. But this sacrifice is always in the air.
Yes, and after bishop b2, White is aiming at d5. So how is Black supposed to react? Maybe they should go knight a5 like we talked about, and of course we don't have d5 yet.
But here maybe, by the way, Nazi, if you play d5, if I take, and knight b4, aren't you losing a pawn? No, I think with the knight on c6. Let's say I'm forcing you to play d5 and you're taking. Put the knight on c6.
So we're not playing bishop b2?
No, we're... No, but I want you to play bishop b2, h6, let's say something.
Oh, some bad move
yes.
for Black.
No, but it's not a bad move. And d5, yes. So here, take on d5, if knight b4. Yes. So what do you do here? Queen d4 winning. Oh, and then, what? f6. Oof. Yes, it's an ugly move. Oh, this is a horrible. Yes, it is a horrible position. No. So this is a dream position for white. Now
I think black has to be very accurate here. You can't waste tempo on a6 or h6 or something like that, because then white's attack comes super fast. So I think knight a5 is absolutely crucial, slowing down a d5. And here also maybe some ideas of knight c4. White can, of course, play queen d3, rook d1, and keep prepping d5. Maybe rook c1.
But rook c8 then. Yeah. It's a very useful move for black. By the way, as we can see, Alice was playing very quickly. That's her first thought, I think, long thought in the game. And it's probably the first critical moment in this game, yes? So she realizes that...
on the other hand, what else could she be considering besides bishop b2?
It's interesting. But yes, another option, of course, is maybe to keep the bishop on c1, and if black plays bishop f6, bishop e3, I don't know. If she wants to protect the pawn on d4, maybe to play h4.
Maybe she's looking at immediately d5, and it just feels wrong, but maybe...
Now knight b4, the bishop is not on b2.
Yeah, she could be considering sacrificing this pawn.
Okay, knight d5.
Yeah, I don't know what we have here for it. On queen d4, there's always bishop f6. Maybe we jump. And yeah, okay, I can see some ideas like queen b3, rook d1. Could be dangerous.
And queen g4 also.
Queen g4 also could go that way.
Bishop f...
Black would have to be very careful here.
Actually, I don't think that they...
Wait, is this working? Suddenly I'm starting to really like it for white.
But now that you know all the ideas, of course, I actually wanted to play in the spirit of the King's Indian attack. You know, when you play h4, h5, bishop g5, if maybe h4, bishop f6, bishop g5. What do you think, by the way,
So instead of d5 here?
Yes, if you play bishop f6, bishop g5. Or maybe even e5 is possible. Oh, no, now you can take.
I can take because I have this in between check.
Okay, then maybe... Okay, I don't want to play e5, yes.
I think on h4... Black will probably still continue playing on the queen side. Knight a5, rook c8, the typical moves.
What if I play h5?
Do I let you play h6?
Actually, I want to play h6. And here you can prepare the sacrifice. Maybe you can play bishop f4 and queen d2. But then, of course, you have knight c4. So let's see. Bishop f4. What do you do here?
Okay, you told me your plans.
Oh. So rook e2.
Yeah, rook e2. So you no longer have queen d2.
Okay, well, maybe I'm too slow. Of course, if I'm using the same analogy, I would try and play knight h2, knight g4. What do you think about this?
Reminds me of the Ruy Lopez.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's...
Yes, I'm losing everything here. Yeah. Yes, of course. No.
This would work if it was very one-sided, but black has great play on the queen side. So this immediate d5 is very interesting, and that's why she's been thinking for almost 7 minutes already, choosing between bishop b2 or instantly d5.
Oh, Nazi, I understand why she's hesitating. So if you start with bishop b2, maybe Town can reply with bishop f6. You see, you can play d5 here, so maybe she's hesitating. Alice
and maybe she doesn't want to miss the opportunity to play d5 while she can. So it's a very interesting move. And if I take, and let's say instead of knight b4, no, I have to play knight b4. Maybe instead of knight d5, I can do something else. Maybe bishop f6. I don't want you to have a great bishop on the diagonal.
But I feel that this is one of those positions where you have to accept the sacrifice, because if I will keep my passed pawn, okay, let's say take, and I will protect my pawn somehow.
How are we keeping the pawn alive?
I need to bring
so d6, rook d8, d7?
Oh.
Go all the way?
Yes, d6, rook
Let's
d8.
try.
No, but then I'm losing it. Yes, bishop c6.
There's always knight e5.
Knight e5, yes. Queen...
Wait, the pawn stays alive?
Queen somewhere. Okay, if I play knight where knight c6, no, I don't want to play knight c6 here. There's a bishop c6, knight e5, yes. But I feel that your knight is not stable there.
It's not, but on the other hand, how are you going to kick me out?
I will take on g2 and play knight c6. Okay, this is the way. maybe I can make a draw here. It's like, no, it's like, okay, knight e5, I will take on e5, and rook e5, yes.
Oh, and rook d7 is hanging. I blundered the pawn. Okay, now we will definitely make a
No,
draw.
but it's like you will take on a7, of course. No. But maybe you had a better choice with white. Maybe knight e5 immediately, because can we jump
At
to
which
c6
moment?
immediately, not to push d6. Let's say
So after bishop f6.
Bishop f6, I will take knight e5 before this. Yes, here, knight e5, and.
But after rook d8.
Yes, but. Oh yes, I'm losing it. Yes, I didn't see
Maybe
it.
not. Maybe not. Let's say queen b3. You have to take with the knight.
Yes, and then.
And
then
you're
rook
pinned,
d1.
right? Rook d1.
Actually, I was jumping to c6, but after rook d8, this jump was not possible. So maybe, yes, queen b3 is a very strong move. But it means that this position remains very sharp. So Alice is taking her time. Yes, because as we can see, this is not easy at all.
Not at all. And she has to make sure if she pushes d5, she's not going to lose that pawn, and she can keep some play for herself. Whoa, we need to go to Stavroula's position against Alexandra, because as we discussed here, black should have played early d5 before the castle. Just waiting to see the players on the screen. But
Alexandra has chosen once again the most principal continuation. Yes, I thought that if there is a way to punish black for such an opening, then you have to play a 4 of 5, bishop g5. But here in Asia, I thought, okay, maybe I want to establish this Marutsy bind. I want to play c4 and knight c3 and deprive you of any counterplay. So I will control the center.
Probably keep the bishop.
Oh, this I don't know yet. Maybe, what if I play knight c3, then you will take on d3? What do you think?
This is my only good piece, so I don't really
Yes, exactly.
it.
So I was not sure that this piece...
Yeah, maybe something like c6.
But you don't even want... I thought that you wanted to try bishop c1. I have to take with the rook, or maybe yes, and queen h4 I wanted to try.
I didn't believe in black's ideas here, so knight g4 is my only threat, but if I go h3, since there's no longer dark squared bishop, I feel more comfortable weakening the squares.
Yes, and I have to play c6 anyway. Okay, no, this doesn't work. No. This is a very comfortable position for white. Okay,
so c4 is definitely a good idea to put the knight on c3. What else?
So no, I like this move, c4. Okay, the problem in this position, once again, is the knight on b3. Even though white started with this move in the opening, this is a very misplaced knight. So you have to bring it in the center.
Which knight looks more misplaced at the moment?
Of course, but then maybe Stavroula's idea is to jump to g4 after.
So maybe after knight e5, jump and improve the knight.
Let's say knight c3, knight g4. Can we make this work?
And then after well, first of
then
all,
I will go.
This,
yes,
but,
I'm going to.
Let's say queen e2 or something to protect e3. And then
maybe now I can make this work.
Queen
Take
h4.
And queen h4. How is it different? So h3.
And after h3, do you step back or wait? Do you have something like this?
Oh no!
Ooh.
Black is winning.
We need this knight on f3 SAP.
Wow!
Did we find a way to lose with white?
Move 15. Black is winning. This is not possible.
Yeah, you have to sack your queen.
Okay, I was not even expecting this. I thought that I will leave the knight on g4 after h3 because I thought that you cannot take. That was my idea. So I was waiting.
Yeah, you can play some random move like c6.
No, I wanted to play rook e8 and to maybe to introduce bishop f5 at some point. But as I can see...
I don't think I can take.
Yes. So
or maybe I'm not getting mated here. Well, yeah, I will just move the king back and
queen
forth.
g3 is more precise, of course.
Yes, queen g3 just wins.
Okay. We have this problem once again. The bishop on c8 cannot join the party, if I may say so.
And if I go g3?
Then I need to...
Oh, you can just take here. d3 is hanging.
Oh, queen h2.
Queen h2.
Yes,
Okay, so maybe Kosteniuk needs to be a little bit careful here and to not allow knight e5, knight g4.
Nazi, I have the feeling that Stavroula is still in her preparation because you don't play moves like this without knowing lines like knight e5 and knight g4. Otherwise, let's say if you make a useful move like h3 for white here, now that we know that all those things are very dangerous, how can you continue here? What do you do with, how do you deploy your knight from h6? I want to say you have to play...
I'll have to come into f6,
Yes.
so let me take and play f6.
Then c4, okay.
Uh-huh.
How is this position? Knight f7, yes?
I don't have to move it yet, right? Let's see. My problem is this bishop.
Actually, Nazi, I wanted to explain why you play f6, because white might play f6, so
Yeah.
you are almost forced to make
Yeah, if
this
I
move.
waste
yes.
the tempo,
Yes, so like
I think this
that
is
was
game
my
over.
next move, of course. I wanted to explain this. It's out of necessity that we make this move, and this knight on h6 can sometimes attack on f5, so d5 is still possible. That's why we play c4. So c4, what did you try here? a5.
Let me try a5, yes.
Yes, you're getting to my knight. So knight c3, I think it's a natural move. a4, knight d2.
I have some tempo moves with a4 and knight e5. You probably move back.
Yeah, and actually
And okay,
here you
bishop d7.
Yes, Nazi, in this position, you want to have the dark square bishops on the board. Yes, actually, black has exchanged the worst piece now. So knight f7. Will you play g4? That's my question, Nazi. Let's say I will play king. Okay, let's prepare something. King.
You want to go
yes,
all
I
the
want
way?
to play. Yes, so how can I prepare this? Let's say king h2. No, maybe it's like... Okay, let's say knight f7. You will make all the useful moves. So can I play something like g4 here?
I just think that I haven't weakened much on the king side, so this shouldn't work. And you are, of course, missing the dark squared bishop. So let me make a normal move like bishop c6.
And actually, what a clever choice, once again, from Stavroula, because she knows that Alexandra struggles in this event. And she has chosen an opening which offers her counter chances, because Alexandra will not wait. Yes, she is always looking for a chance to create a dynamic play. But here
She's
it's
played bishop f4. Move we did not expect. Now I think after simply knight e5, Stavroula should be completely fine.
But knight e5, so she doesn't want to stop d5 here. She feels that d5 can be played because you will take on g5 and take on d5. Yes.
But Almira, we need to jump to Anna Muzychuk's game because I'm hearing that Carissa already has made a mistake.
So let's have a
Or
look.
in this position, she played g6, chose to develop the bishop on g7, and now bishop d7 was a mistake because doesn't this allow bishop d6 and you can't castle?
It does, but can
Is she
we...
gonna go back?
Can we get back just to the move before that when Anna played c3? It's, you see how tricky is her move order here. So she prepares queen f4. Of course, she knows that this move is essential in this line against g6. So she doesn't castle yet. So
Yeah, very
she
tricky,
plays c3,
definitely.
then bishop g7, queen a4. But then how do you deal with...
Maybe Carissa should have played queen b6, but that still allows bishop d6.
But then maybe bishop f8 here. What I think that the bishop on d7 is misplaced. Maybe.
Agreed. And in the future, after I play e5, you don't even have knight d7.
Because it's not easy actually to understand why this is such a mistake. So it's more conceptually that the bishop on d7
All right, let's look at it.
is completely
close.
misplaced, because when you will play e5, where does this knight go?
So if we start with bishop d6,
Let's say bishop f8,
Bishop
I will
f8.
take, and I will play e5.
I'm also considering this, but okay, let's take. Taking with the king, right? to-
Whatever, I think that was my first
Now
choice.
e5.
Yes. So knight is forced to go to g8, h5. It can't play knight. I think that Bishop d7
this is very scary.
is positional mistake, yes, because it's very important to explain it, because the material balance is
Look at
still
their
on
accuracy.
the board.
Almira, Anna's at 100%, and Carissa dropped to 94 after that bishop d7, and this could be an opening disaster if Anna finds all the best moves. Positional disaster.
Yes, positional, yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that because if you're looking at this position for the first time, it's very important to understand all the nuances and intricacies, why bishop d7 is a mistake, but we all know that the square on d7 is essential for black's knight.
Definitely, and also bishop d6 slowing down black's castle, because if Anna doesn't go for it, and let's say she just castles and lets Carissa castle as well, then I think Carissa is okay. Yeah, this is still unpleasant that knight doesn't have the square, but this is not nearly as bad.
Actually, I was wondering why Carissa didn't play after bishop g7, queen a4 castle, because I think that because she's always looking for waves to complicate the position.
And
but I think
sacrifice.
that you had queen c7 there, yes?
Queen
so let's say
c6.
bishop d7 and queen c7, yes?
She doesn't want to trade
Yes,
queens.
yeah, exactly.
Going to the end game down a pawn.
That's why she
Although it's a
decided.
solid sacrifice, but then it's game for two results, yes. Yeah,
So
we
she's...
expect bishop d6 here, and I think you know Anna very well. I see her as a great positional player. Would you agree with that?
This is certainly true. However, once again, I don't know, poker terminology comes to mind. She's a tight, aggressive player in the sense that she always prepares the grounds, but she's never shy of sacrificing. She has a sharp tactical eye, so don't let this fool you, by the way. When it's needed, she will sacrifice everything and she will deliver the final blow. But here, I think that she will not miss this move, bishop d6. The only hesitation that I can see is that bishop d6 or e5 first, but then it looks very artificial to play e5 first. Yes, then knight h5, and black is probably
even
better.
maybe knight g4. Knight h5. Yeah, I think choices here for her is bishop d6 or castles, and it's hard to resist making this move.
But what
because
else?
If black doesn't play bishop f8, you can always play e5 after. I think this is forced. Like if black makes a move, you might not even get the bishop f8, king f8 anymore.
But why can't I play e5? You want to take on b2? No, but then I have rook b1, yes.
Yep, e5 is also good. I have to go to h5 now. I might lose the piece.
Yes, g4 looks very scary, so should I castle first? But
yeah, this is castle. You're threatening g4, the king still in the center. This is a disaster in the opening. So I think if bishop d6 happens, Carissa will immediately go bishop f8. Can we check this line? So we like bishop f8 very much.
And
Could she
e5.
also try bishop e5? Because if you go back bishop g7,
but then
I was
what
thinking
do
I
you
can
do?
play queen a3, still not letting you castle. Because if you go queen e7, then I go back.
Okay, but what else do I have? I don't have knight g4. But if I go bishop f8,
what has she played? She did not go bishop d6. Anna Muzychuk has played queen a3. Okay,
what a
similar idea as what I
surprise,
was
yes.
just showing.
But then if bishop
F8 is still
yes,
required. What's her plan here?
Maybe
Is
she
she
wants
gonna?
to play bishop d6 here.
But that leads to a lot of trades.
Yes, this is not the most precise version of what we've seen. It's very interesting.
Maybe after bishop f8, she wants to move the queen and ask you, well, are you wasting time going back again?
But then you will have to play bishop
e7 at this
no,
point.
but bishop d6. And if the
Oh, yeah,
bishop goes to
now you will.
g7, yes.
And we do have bishop f8, and now let's see, critical moment.
Maybe Anna was not prepared for such an early advantage in the game. She wanted to keep the pawn on e4. She decided that against many lines, she's not pushing on e5, Nazi. What do you think?
Maybe she rushed also. She could have taken a bit longer to consider the differences between queen a3 and bishop d6.
So let's have a look at this line one more time. Bishop d6, take, and queen e7. Yes, so is this so easy for black?
Maybe queen e5.
But then castle. No,
I don't believe in h4 here.
Castle with white.
Okay, it's a tiny positional advantage maybe for white because of the dark squares and the bad bishop, but compared to what she could have had, this is nothing. I think that Carissa will be relieved.
Yes, Carissa is off the hook for now, I think.
Now, yeah.
Yes. And we have, by the way, a few moves on the board between Vaishali and Humpy, because I think that this game is going to be drawn quite soon, just to show you, because they just traded the knight on d5, knight d5, shielding the pawn on c6, so knight d5, and I think that
probably take with the e pawn, right?
Yes, because
to open up the bishop.
Yes, if you take with the c pawn, yes, then you can play c4, and even if black plays bishop a6, I think, no. I thought maybe bishop b6, then you can probably take on d5. Yes,
yeah, you're winning a pawn. It's still probably a draw, but a pawn is a pawn. Why allow this? So I'm expecting Humpy to take with the e pawn. This is completely equal.
Yeah, but then you still have to play c4, but maybe here...
you can play bishop b6. Yes, I have a weak isolated pawn, but worst case scenario, I lose it and we go to a drawn rook endgame.
But maybe there is a better version, Nazi. On c4, can you take on c4 and then play bishop b6? Because how can you win the c4 pawn? Let's say d takes c4. Bishop c6, rook b8, and I can protect the pawn on c4. And if I play bishop d5, then I will play bishop b6. No,
b6?
I want to go for the rook endgame.
Yeah, no problems here for black whatsoever.
However, we've seen so many rook endgames in this event, so
Alice Lee keeps converting those drawn endgames.
I'm not sure how to evaluate this one, but okay, it looks.
We do have another move
equal.
in Anna's game against Carissa. We were wondering after bishop f8 what was her plan, and wow, okay, this is very surprising. She just went b4. This is turning around very quickly. Can Carissa just play a5?
Yes.
What are we seeing?
what is happening? Yes. What is cooking? So b4, I have never seen. Okay, I understand that after a5, I think Anna has planned queen b2. She cannot leave the queen on a3. And if Carissa takes on b4, then she takes cb4, and then she has your move bishop e5. Dominating the dark squares.
Good point. I'm just going to show the line you said. So this is her idea. But what if I don't take on b4, play knight h5 and bishop g7?
Yeah, they're being very creative. So
if you go here, you might be walking into some crazy pawn moves. And now a takes b.
Yes, and winning the bishop on e3.
This is incredible. Queen a3 and b4, such wrong direction she went.
But maybe
Carissa's gonna, of course, jump on this opportunity.
I'm pretty sure that Carissa is already dancing on her chair.
Yeah, look at the accuracy. It was 100% for Anna just 2 moves ago, and now she's below Carissa.
And this is one of those early moments in the game. If you feel that this is the critical moment where you can actually fight for the advantage with the black pieces. And I think that Carissa is one of those players which has this fine feeling. Yes. So let's wait if she makes this move a5 right away, or if she chooses knight h5. Both moves are very tempting, but all I see is a5.
Same.
Because
I wouldn't even look at it.
The queen, yes, on a3. So let's continue. a5, queen b2. So queen b2, and if white manages to stabilize this position, by the way, if I can play a3, castle, then maybe like it will be not such a bad idea. However, after like knight h5,
Immediately asking you the question.
yes. Okay, bishop e3 then, yes, and
Okay.
then you want to play bishop g7.
Do I take on b4 first?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Because, but then bishop g7, bishop d4.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, bishop g7.
I don't even know what am I supposed to. Oh, but
Can
can
you?
I play bishop c5 here? Like it's a very strange position. Knight f4, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And I don't want to play a3, maybe. But can I play a3? No.
Look at that game progress stockfish, the spike for white on move 10 when she could have played bishop d6 and gotten a huge advantage. And instead, it went all the way down. Now it's below and better for black.
Yes, and look at their posture. Actually, Anna realized, look at her face. She realized almost like Carissa did yesterday. This is the moment where she knows that this is a step in the wrong direction. Carissa, it's like poker face is totally different. Her body language shows that she will
Carissa's relaxed now.
seize this opportunity.
She looked nervous definitely earlier, and now she's feeling like, okay, my opponent let me off the hook.
But by the way, here, Nazi, if I don't play bishop c5, am I forced to play a3 here? Like, is this the only move? So what can I do here? Because then I need to take, so maybe you can swap rooks here or castle.
And she's played a5, the best move in the position. I think even if I just castle, black is just happy in this position. Yeah. What a turnaround. We're expecting Carissa to be in huge trouble. And she's slightly better with the black pieces after only, 12 moves?
So do you want to take maybe with the queen on b4? Not like, what
Separate
else
these
can
pawns?
it's not an easy choice here. Like if you castle, then like if you
Can I
don't
play
play.
something like this and just ask you what you're doing about the pawn? Because if you go bishop d4, I have e5.
Maybe then I can play rook c1, but then you have this jump, knight
f4, yes,
yeah.
and I'm dominating on the dark squares. e5 still an option? No, this is...
Okay, queen b2 is
Can
on the
only
board.
dream about a position like this with the black pieces.
So let's wait for Carissa's move. Look, her eyes are like, they're shining. I can see that she's looking at this direction. Sparks are there, definite sparks. So.
And Anna looks nervous.
But the thing is, if black doesn't play knight h5 in this position, let's say if you play bishop g7 here, then white will play bishop d6. Yes? So
Yes.
you're almost forced to play knight
Knight h5. Not only it's the best move, but it's the move that avoids all white's good options.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the most natural move.
So bishop e3 and bishop g7.
Maybe even bishop d6, just so I can take control of the f4 square earlier.
And bishop h2, so queen h4, you can play and sacrifice something.
Yeah.
So bishop...
I mean, what is the queen doing on b2? And white spent so much time moving around with the queen just to end up on b2.
But after bishop d6, I can't play c4, no? I'm just checking.
If I
Because-
castle?
Yes, like I want to see is like what are the consequences of this move. So
I think, okay, at least you get e5 here, right?
maybe Anna is actually thinking about it. Yes, maybe bishop g7 has to be preferred. I don't know, Nazi.
Maybe.
But you see, like a lot of choices here. So and you have to make a decision and to live
And live with it, yes.
Yes. So
But a lot of good choices for black after wrong plan for Anna, queen a3 and b4, just it was so unnecessary.
by the way, let's quickly jump into the game between Divya Deshmukh and Bibisara Assaubayeva because I saw that the position is getting very sharp.
Okay, we left it at bishop a5, then we had bishop d2 and d6. Okay, Divya decided to castle short. e5. Isn't this just offering a lot of trades? So if Sarah takes, takes and...
Queen e5. So...
Yeah, this position looks pretty even, but things can change very quickly after Queen G5.
I agree, Nazi.
And Almira, we have this fun interview. Players were asked, what is the hardest chess skill to teach? So let's find out the answers.
I think the most difficult to teach is actually not any particular chess skills, but more emotional factors. Sometimes when we are in the middle of a game, we may not make the best decisions, we may not be evaluated right. After the game, when you look back at the game, you can see many mistakes. So it's really having to do with, at the particular moment, how we feel about the game. And that kind of psychological factors are very difficult to overcome.
Some positional ideas, also maneuvering, because in all situations you have different positions. And for example, when you are training your calculation, it's, I think, a little bit easier than this stuff.
I think calculation is pretty difficult to teach because it's not so like brute force. Like openings can just give lines and memorize, and same for some of the other things like endgames, it's a lot of memorization. But for calculation, I think you just have to like do a lot of tactics and keep doing it over and over again. So that takes like a lot of time, and it's not really something that like I can't really teach somebody to calculate well. They have to do that on their own.
I think probably theoretical part, because theory is something which can be learned at any point of the stage, and it's all about understanding the positions irrespective of what you prepare.
I think certain skills you're just born with, and those are very hard to train, like the speed of calculation, excellent memory, like some inner sense of logic and of harmony. You learn a lot of things throughout your career, you like recognize more and more patterns, but still certain skills, they are just geniuses and like real great champions are born with.
I don't know, there are so many. I would say one of them is patience.
I guess tactics are easier somehow to learn how to calculate. Maybe I would say technique, how to manage to win when you have an advantage. It's not so easy to do, especially when your opponent puts problems, and yeah, I feel like that's kind of hard.
It's hard to say because like some things can be easy for someone and something it's difficult for some other player. So it's hard to particularly point one, I think.
Some sort of like positional intuition is the hardest to teach. I've taught kids before, and they usually pick up on stuff like tactics, combinations pretty quickly. I guess some of the more subtle aspects of chess are tricky for them, and they're also pretty tricky for me. So
maybe some calculation skill or like visualization, like to see exactly where the pieces are, like after a few moves without moving them. Maybe it's something quite unique what you don't do that much in your like everyday life things you're doing.
Well, Almira, I think the conclusion is that chess is very hard.
Oh boy, tell me about it.
Everything is hard to learn. Well, we did have one result while we were watching the interviews. The game between Divya Deshmukh and Bibisara Assaubayeva has ended in a draw.
Nazi, I feel that this game left us wanting for more. We have so many games still in progress and a lot of exciting positions, by the way.
Yes, we do. And yeah, Bibisara equalized very easily out of the opening, and they just found a 3-move repetition. Divya couldn't press for more, which is a good result for both of them, but especially for Bibisara since she had the black pieces. We have very exciting games going on. Let's jump into the marquee matchup, Alice Lee and Zhongyi, and see what's happened in this game. We liked Alice's center with the pawns on d4 and e4, and she chose this plan to create a possible attack on the king side, starting with h4, knights going to h4, h2, possibly g4. Zhongyi played h6, some trades, and yeah, Zhongyi didn't handle it the best way possible. Instead of rook c1, maybe should have played knight c6 and put the pressure on the central pawn on d4. And sorry to interrupt, but we do have another result. As we expected, a draw between Vaishali and Humpy. Straight out of the opening, it was Catalan. They went to this equal endgame, and both of them knew this endgame very well.
Yeah, it was a very quiet positional affair, and once again, Vaishali Rameshbabu was playing against her compatriot, Humpy Koneru. They know each other very well, and in less than a month, Humpy Koneru and Vaishali Rameshbabu will play at the Chess Olympiad together, defending
as teammates.
Yes, defending their country.
Yeah, they are the current champions. They're the last
Yes.
Olympic champions. They're gonna try to repeat it. Now back to the Alice game. After 10, didn't find the best way to continue. Alice grabbed an advantage. I'm going to point out this one crucial moment after move h5. Alice could have played immediately e5 with a huge advantage after this natural moves, takes, queen d5, we take here. And then this move is not easy to find, but g4 is very strong with the ideas of queen g3, and everything's falling apart for black.
Yeah, Nadia, I wanted to point out here that after a takes g4, knight takes g4, I think is the only move. Well, you want to open the big diagonal. I think you want also to play knight e3, yes, and d5, and attacking both.
And just checkmate.
But then what if black plays bishop f3 here? I'm not allowing you to play
Queen G3?
Queen G3. Yes.
I'll force you.
Now I'm forced to play bishop e4, and now you will play Queen G3.
Yeah, this is very one-sided game. Knights come in here, Queen f4. This is hopeless. You'll have to move your queen and let me open up my bishop.
But knight g4 is a very precise move. You know, well,
but it's also the most natural, right?
Yes, but I was planning on rook g8, winning the queen, by the way. You know, maybe she missed that the advantage is simply tremendous in this position because the g file is open and she was not sure about it.
You're right. It's not clear from afar that your advantage is this big. She chose move bishop f3, provoking g6, but Tan again had a chance to go for knight c6, give up the h5 pawn, trade it for the central d4 pawn, and get closer to equality again. Instead, she played g6, e5, great move. And now, of course, neither of these moves look great. If you play bishop g7, you're basically playing without the bishop, and if you play bishop e7, bishop a3 comes. Alice found the best move, trading black's good minor piece, leaving them with a very bad knight on a5.
So the knight on a5 is completely dominated. Bishop a3 in the style of the masters of the past. I think Capablanca, Botvinnik would have been proud. Alice is showing great maturity in her play. But I feel that maybe for us, it looks obvious, of course, we know, we analyzed a lot of lines, but optically, you know, there is an advantage, but she's not sure of how big an advantage is here.
Exactly. As you can see, the evaluator says it's almost +4. Practically speaking, it's hard to justify such a huge advantage. I would maybe say it's +2, but you have to make still precise moves. For example, here Alice played queen d3, but there's a problem with this move. Your knight cannot jump because there's always knight e5 motifs. And because of that, much better was queen b3 or c3 just to stay away from this tactical resource. And here, if black, let's say, defends the knight with b5, we can jump now knight g5 with an idea to play queen c2, knight f7, and queen go G6. After the king.
Mm-hmm. But then after queen g3, b5 was played by Zhongyi.
Yes, and now we don't have knight g5 anymore, so she played rook c5, kicking the queen. The best square for the queen is to stay on the diagonal, and Tan has found this move, and this is where players are at.
This is a small concession. Of course, the rook is on c5 now. However, Alice can still play knight g5 here and knight e4. Yes? How can you stop me?
I definitely cannot stop you. Best I can do is find my own play. So let's say you jump knight g5, I go rook d8.
Okay, so I
Is
see
this already
you,
available?
yes, and I raise you, yes, knight
Let's
e6 and
take a
queen g6. Queen e6, queen f7. How can I continue here? I can't trade queens here, of course. So, oh, but I can play queen h6 and e6, rook g5. So you will have to do something
You're also
about
threatening
it,
this
yes.
at the moment, and yeah, e6, rook g5 is so strong. Yes, I have an extra piece with black, but knight's not participating.
And if you play queen g7, let's say, for example, I can take on h5. Yes, another
Yes, and you
pawn.
took 4 pawns already.
Okay,
Let me
so-
try going for a counterplay. This is my only hope. But maybe you can just push.
f4. Wow.
And now you have like 3 connected passers.
By the way, d5 is coming next.
Yes. You might not even play for the mate and just push the pawns.
Yes, maybe, for example, if now you play queen g7, because I can no longer take on h5, I thought that I can take on b5 and play d5 next.
There's so many pawns for the knight. Now this is completely lost for black.
Looks like a military formation, yes,
It does.
from the past.
And Alice has started with knight g5. So, okay, black has to be careful. Can't allow all these ideas that we just looked at. But what do I do? Queen... I can't play queen e7, then this pawn hangs. Queen
Maybe
d7.
queen d7, yes. But then knight
But then I'm walking
e4,
into
yes.
this. Also unpleasant. Whoa. This is...
I think it's important for
scary.
Alice to have a clear plan in her head, yes? She thought that this is the way to play knight g5, knight e4, even though she couldn't keep her rook on the 7th rank. However, she feels that dominating on the dark squares is the way to go, and maybe then she can sacrifice on c4 and play queen d2, queen h6.
Oh, nice.
Who knows? Yes, but of course, it's the combination of factors which give her an advantage here.
Exactly. So it's not just one idea why white is better. There's a couple. Knight e6 sacrifices, knight e4, knight f6, and then, as Almira mentioned, rook c4, queen d2, and get the queen to the dark squares. So many ideas for white. Meanwhile, what is black supposed to do? And she's played rook d8. Wow, critical moment. Will Alice take on e6? It is absolutely winning.
By the way, Nazi, did you see that while Alice was like writing her move, she was not taking her eyes off the board. Yes, because I think that she was looking exactly in that direction, because I think she was already like calculating the variations while she was writing the move rook d8. She was in her head for sure.
Waiting for this move.
You had already knight e6, and she was going for this variation.
The only reason I would think she doesn't go for this is that she has other great options as well. For example, this may seem crazy at first, but g4. I want to open up this diagonal, right? So if you take, I'm going h5.
h5.
This also looks
But
crushing.
then if I play queen e7, attacking the knight?
Because you can't go king g7. I just take on g6 and then e6 hangs. So queen e7 would be the only move. And let's say I go to f6.
King g7. That's
And maybe
my
black
only-
is surviving. Take.
Okay, I have to take, I think.
I wanna make this work somehow. Maybe
This-
just take on b5. What do you
Yes,
do with the
but
knight?
This looks messy.
Could I
Knight
drop
b6,
that?
knight d5.
You know,
Nazi.
this still looks good for white, but I did weaken my king. I did, and this gives black some hopes of counterplay. So
I think this is one of those positions where one blunder is enough. However, in like in the position which we have in the game, like Alice is not risking anything.
and after knight e6, if she calculates this, there is really no risk of anything. First, well, you have to play queen g7. If your king moves, you lose the rook right away. So queen g7.
Queen e6 check.
Take.
This is a very direct line, you know.
Maybe instead of queen f7, king steps away.
Oh, okay. Ah, yes. So we don't have the queen h6 and e6. So what can we have? Can I take the pawn on b5 here?
Might as well
attacking.
get 3 pawns. Oh, wait, you already have 4 for my knight?
Yes, and attacking. No, for the moment, I think I have 3.
It's
4? After
It's
rook b5,
already
it's
4.
already 4, yes. So, and
our position is great, but even materially we're doing better. So I think Alice should not hesitate and take on e6. Even if you don't find a mate or a great attack afterwards, you're doing great materially.
Nadia, look at her. Her hand, like the dagger is there. Yes, she is prepared to take on e6. Will she beat another world champion, Nadia?
I don't doubt that she can beat anybody. But what's most impressive to me is that recovering after yesterday's loss, it's almost like it never happened. She came in today as if this is the first round.
Yes, but you have to take it one game at a time.
Easier said than done.
Zhongyi, I think she shared her thoughts, and she said that the most important is the psychological preparation and dealing with your emotions.
Very true. And Alice, even though she's only 16 years old, she handles herself, her emotions so well.
It's like I feel like I want to make this move on the board.
She's antsy, right?
Yes.
She wants to take it, but she's looking at the clock. She's like, okay, I've got time. I can calculate a little bit deeper. But she's very eager to take on e6.
By the way, yesterday when Carissa blundered at some point, I thought that we were going to have a fist fight. She left the board.
She was very angry at herself, yes.
So we are about to see a move on the board. Alice knows that she's on the verge of something great. This might be the game of the tournament, by the way.
So far, I would say so, if she takes on e6. And she's hovering over the knight. No, she didn't take on e6.
Knight e4, and I think this actually
gives away
gives up a
most of
big
the advantage.
portion of her advantage.
I
And
think
she goes
10 is
immediately king
so
g7.
relieved.
Wow.
Because 10 was expecting knight e6. Wow, this is such a surprise. Alice is such a tactician. And she's so eager to sacrifice her pieces for an attack. I'm shocked by this decision.
You know, maybe before the round started and preparing for her game with her coach, they had a clear strategy. Yes, after yesterday's loss, to play well in the opening, see if there is an advantage, but not to take many risks in this game.
Maybe, but that's the thing. Knight e6 is not taking a risk. If you calculate, you're getting 4 pawns for the knight. Yes, you might not checkmate, but you can just start pushing all your pawns.
Oh, knight f6, knight e6 was such a brilliant move.
I just want to go back and see what could have been her hesitation. Of course, black's going to take. They have to play queen g7. So I think she just in this position didn't realize that she just has enough pawns that she doesn't need to calculate any further.
So what can black do in this
Knight
position?
d2. Wow. White's king is so safe. And you can go after more pawns as well. I mean, worst case scenario, black finds some kind of perpetual on your king.
Yes, if you're lucky, because the pawns in the center, they are rolling. e6, d5, e7.
I saw you and me were looking at her hand on the knight, and we're like, oh, it's going to e6, and then she drops it back, and both our reactions, just complete shock.
So maybe let's have a look quickly at our games before we come back to this one. This is, of course, is our marquee matchup. But we have so many interesting positions. By the way, Anna against Carissa is a mess.
Should we jump there?
Immediately, yes. And I can see that Anna is down to her 19 minutes. Carissa is also approaching the time trouble zone.
So we left it at king h1. Let's see what Carissa played. Knight d5, knight c5. Okay, defending e4, everything makes sense. g3 is a commitment. You're weakening in the white squares. In between move, queen g5. h5 now. Ooh, this is such a Carissa-style position. But how do we continue an attack here with black? We need rooks.
Yes, we need rooks. But the thing is, I was thinking about bishop f6, king g7, rook h8. But this is probably too slow because Anna can play maybe bishop g2 and take on e4, no?
Yes.
What do you think?
And if you lose this pawn, then...
It's still not the end of white's troubles because let's say, no, king g7, now you can take on e4. Yeah, it's a bit slow. So how do you bring the rook on, maybe not on h8? No, let's start with another move.
Let's start with a improving move, developing move, rook d8. If you go bishop g2...
Yes, because you cannot protect this pawn for now. So how do you...
I wanted bishop f8, but I'm just losing the pawn. I don't like... So, okay, this pawn needs to be defended. What are...
Can you play h4 here, or Anna will simply take on h4?
I think I have to. And let's see.
Yes, there's no
we
other
do
way.
have a move on the board, queen g4, because Carissa does not want to give this pawn away. Makes total sense. Can I... And she's provoking h3, so if you want to still win this pawn, you have to play h3.
Oh, but
if you go back, obviously I go back to bishop g2, but if you play this, I was thinking I might still be winning the pawn.
Well, no, this is much better. Maybe now I can play rook d8. And
if you're coming to d2.
Yes, I want to invade the second rank.
Okay.
Yes, now I will take. So if rook d2, you will play rook e2, yes? Okay, so let's see. Rook e2.
You know what? Before pawn is hanging. You can't go bishop f8 now.
Now that we've traded rooks, yes, bishop f8 is a great follow-up, of course.
But look what's happening. Anna played bishop e2, queen g5, bishop f1, offering a draw. Will Carissa take it? If Albert says Carissa's much better after rook d8, it's not very clear to me why.
But okay, here if you play bishop f8, you take on e4, knight e4. What can we do here? Well,
the
you
queen
can
has to move.
Yeah, but you can take on e4. Yes, it's like this is. But then this whole idea with queen h4, queen g5, maybe it weakened the king side a little bit. However, maybe it was wrong. No.
The thing is, you're just giving the pawn back, right? You're not losing anything, and you still have two bishops.
And Carissa
has repeated one more time, and I think
that they're going for the repetition.
Can she already claim after bishop f1, or there is one more move, and then Carissa will change her mind? We'll see. Yeah, I think Anna is writing down bishop f1 and claiming the draw. Yep. And both players are ready.
And Carissa doesn't seem to mind. So I think that the yesterday's game is still in her head.
Of course it is. And draw is a fine result, of course, with the black pieces against Anna Muzychuk. And earlier today, she almost lost out of the opening. Then she did turn things around, but...
Fifth draw for Anna?
Fifth draw for Anna. She's going for the record, 9 out of 9.
Well, we were talking about how many players haven't won a game in this event before yesterday's rounds. So we had Stavroula who won, Bibisara won, so Anna is yet to win her first game.
Humpy, Vaishali, and Kosteniuk, I think.
Yes, so it's
are
like
4
so
players
many players
who haven't won. And wow, what's happening? Almira, 3 draws already? Are we turning into the Sinquefield Cup?
Like the this mirage of the free day, is there.
It's looming in their minds.
Yes.
They just want to take a rest day and then start a new tournament.
But maybe let's have a look at the game between Alexandra Kosteniuk and Stavroula Tsolakidou, because Stavroula is down to her 14 minutes. 29th move, queen e3, was made by Alexandra. The position is still very balanced. Stavroula, by the way, she responded by playing b6 when Alexandra tried to gain some space advantage on the queen side. The pawn was on a5. It looks like my favorite Philidor, where I managed to trade the dark square bishops, but I still don't have enough squares for my pieces, So, but this knight on e5 is very beautiful.
It's the hero of the game for sure.
I just wanted to check one more idea. Like I always want to play g4, g5 when I see the queen on f6.
No, I wanted to say it, but I thought you were going to judge me because I'm doing it in every position. So I'm glad you brought it up.
It's like, okay, so take me to the bar. I'm
okay, so let's make some moves for
responsible.
black. Okay, rook b8. It's an
Rook
awkwardly
b8.
placed rook. Do you start with h4?
But h4, then if I play g4, then you will take on h4.
Same
so-
with if you start with g4, you can't
Yes,
play
I
h4.
need to
So I was
prepare.
thinking you can do this, queen f2, and then go.
No, let's play rook f2, g4.
Rook f2
Yes,
first.
preparing
okay.
g4.
Now I'm just going to make some moves.
So g4.
g4.
I think you need to play h6,
h6,
here.
and then how
And
do you
now
get
I want
h4?
I wanted to play queen g3, h4.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely dangerous. So black needs to break out in the center somehow, open up the position.
And from a human perspective, like I don't care what is the evaluation of the computer. From a human perspective, especially with 10 minutes on the clock, when I see h4, g5 coming, like you panic.
For sure.
So you need
start
to
worry.
find some counterplay here. Here, maybe black should start with c5, attacking the pawn on d5. Yes. So, what can you do here? Bishop d5, but then rook d5, and
It's great knight versus bad bishop, but we still have to
yes, I think
defend.
one way to stop is with the same idea that I will play g5 myself with black. You remember we used this before, so I think this idea stops g5.
Or maybe f6 somehow.
But can I play g5 here? Maybe it's a bit premature.
For black?
Yes.
I would definitely take.
Yes,
And then thing is your knight is so good that your weakness is not really a weakness.
However, you have a few more squares for your rook. Yes, rook f5, rook h5. Maybe that's not decisive, but let's try something else.
Can I sneakily switch my bishop color, please? Because I hate this white color bishop.
But rook g8, like h5.
I don't even think black's king is the weaker one in this position.
So g5 is definitely a very surprising defensive resource.
And look at this. Kosteniuk is, I think, planning to play your idea, g4 and g5. She very quickly responded to b5 with rook b2.
So b5, rook f2.
She's putting Stavroula in time pressure, right? 12 minutes for next 10 moves.
I'm looking for another idea, because now maybe Stavroula can play rook e8.
Or rook e7 maybe?
And-
This rook is so awkward here.
No, I want to put both rooks on. Maybe I
Okay.
want to, I didn't know how to start. Yes, so
G4?
rook e7, g4.
Don't get your queen trapped.
Oh, no, h6. So what do you do
Can I
here?
go h4? I just want to see
want
if I
to
can
take, yes.
sacrifice.
No.
Because with queen f6, I win.
g5. No.
But there's knight g4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lucky move.
Well, I haven't seen it, but as every chess player, they will pretend that they've calculated everything,
Yes.
of course. So I was lucky. But here, yes, if you have to play queen g3 here to support h4, maybe I still have to play g5. Yes, we will
Yes.
end up in this
It's a good
position
move.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, queen
Because
g6.
as soon as I open it up, I mean, now bishop's even better placed here.
But then why to start with rook e7? It's just a waiting move. Yes.
But, okay, Stavroula has very different plans. She played bishop d7,
Okay. What is
cutting the rook off from e7.
so? What is her idea here?
She wanna play. Well, she could have played c5 if she wanted to.
No, but then g4.
Maybe she wants a file, but
No.
is she ignoring the threat?
I think Alexandra has to play g4 here. So it's
Immediately, right?
yes, it's a very straightforward plan against someone who has 11 minutes left. By the way, I think that h4, h6 here, like is not the best move, because like after
You still have it, no?
no, but queen g3. Do we have g5 here, because the rook is on b7, as you said, is out of place. So now maybe if I take it,
It's a less good version. Yeah,
Yes.
rook on e7 would have been much stronger.
and I
Maybe
thought
it's
that
still fine though.
yes, but let's say.
But I want to put this back into the rook on e7.
If I play rook f1, I want to play. The g4 pawn is hanging or not? If I want to play, yes, maybe you can take on g4.
Yes, or rook g8 is also an option.
No, because I wanted to play rook f6, and after rook f6 here, what do you do, Nazi? Simply queen somewhere, yes? Queen g5.
G5 or, yeah.
It's dangerous, no? What if I play h4 here? Where are you going?
I'm hanging by a thread here.
Queen g7 is sufficient, yes. So if I take on g4, you take knight g4, and what's
still not clear.
The fight continues. No, but I feel that black has like a very comfortable position here.
And we do have g4 on the board, and Stavroula stepped back, queen e7. So she's allowing g5 right away, and maybe she wants to meet it with f6.
Okay, so f6, we cannot play g6 because white will not obtain anything there. What else can we do? h4 or take on f6? In the spirit of the position, I think we should play.
I'm very disappointed. I don't get to open up anything.
I think that you wanted to sacrifice something on h7.
Yeah.
Like queen h7, bishop b3 mate somewhere.
Like I want to play g6, but not...
No, I was thinking that you could simply take.
You can even play h6, I feel like. But you can also just take.
I am very afraid of all kinds of sacrifices.
I just have the wrong color bishop, and the knight is million miles away, so I thought even this was fine. But yeah, it's a free pawn, honestly. And again, is white's king any safer than black's king here? I don't think so.
Maybe Stavroula was anticipating this line. So she wants to put the bishop on e8. If she decided that she will defend in this way, so queen e7, f6, then the bishop belongs to e8, and it protects the pawn on c6. So the knight is free to go.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, she just had a different idea. Instead of h6 and allowing g5, she's going for queen e7, f6. Oh, this knight is just so pretty. I can't take my eyes off of it. So since I just said that, let's trade it. Because without that knight, is black's position that solid?
Yes, so if I take... how do you take on this? Queen d3.
I thought you were going to let me take with the queen, because now... should I lift the rook? Is it going to be any way helpful? Maybe.
Well, now we'll play f6 anyway, yes, to stop
this
you.
Bishop is depressing me, but let's go g5.
Bishop e8.
Yeah.
I'm following the master plan, and if you take, I will take queen f6.
Then how do I... Do I have e5?
If I take?
Yeah, again, my king
c5,
is not safe. Yeah.
But yes, white is not risking anything here, of course, but we know how... what is Alexandra's mindset, by the way, Nazi?
She would love to win, but she can't afford to lose another game.
Okay, so she's thinking about this constantly, of course, but she will not miss an opportunity to, like, if she can transpose to a better endgame. So she will trade queens, maybe. I don't know, like, what can you do here?
I want to go back to our marquee matchup between Alice and Zhongyi. We saw last that Alice didn't find the best move, knight e6, winning the game. Instead, she played knight e4, allowed black to defend, and then maybe followed up with not another great move, because yes, knight on f6 looks pretty, but what is it doing there after rook c8? You need to quickly end up on g5, but you can't even be there in 2 moves. It takes 3 moves to get to g5, and of course, black's not going to sit and wait. She started with queen c3. I guess this is her idea.
Well, it's not easy to find something better here, by the way.
I feel like I can't even give you a move and then take on c5, and e5 is hanging as well.
No, queen c3 was protecting on e5, so if rook takes c5, d takes c5.
And I just want to showcase that you don't even have these ideas anymore.
But let's say rook c5 here. No, a6 was played already, or
no.
Just to see if white has something
here. Maybe, okay, this pawn is alive and well, queen d4. Yeah, this I would be scared to play with black. I know Engine says it's holdable, but no, I can end up mating into moves.
If you can play queen d4 and queen d8, yes, then you should definitely keep the rook on c8 and trade on your terms.
Yep.
But then maybe a6, yes?
Yeah, I like this just to defend this pawn so it's never hanging. And then if white makes some waiting moves, let's say, I don't know, king h2.
No, but can you take on c8 first and queen c1, your idea?
Okay.
So you want to play queen g5 next. Queen, where?
Okay, this is interesting.
Because you need to do something
maybe on
about
queen
knight
g5, I
h5.
gotta start running. So, well, I have one passive idea that might work, which is queen h8.
But queen g5?
And then queen... Oh, I'm losing. I can't go queen h6.
Knight e8, yes. And queen
I thought I was
s7.
fine here, but yeah, I'm just losing the game. Okay, that doesn't work. Queen h8, however, does defend h5. And what are you threatening besides knight h5, right?
No,
no, your queen's coming here. Okay, knight b6.
That was, but then yes, because I wanted to play d5 next actually, and then knight d5, queen of 6 is coming. No, I mean if you with the knight on c4, that was my plan.
Yes.
So knight b6
I'm
is
curious
actually
even if here you can pull it
a very
off.
good move.
But it's only a draw, I think. Okay, she still has some ideas that Tan has to be careful about, but I still can't believe what an opportunity. Knight takes e6. You would have been, as you said, the game of the tournament.
I'm curious if Alice rejected it or
didn't consider it
didn't
at
consider
all. Like seriously.
Seriously, yes. So
10 is down to 9 minutes for the next 11 moves.
And by the way, Stavroula is still thinking. But Alexandra didn't make knight d3. Well, we can come back and forth, maybe have a look at this game. Alexandra just played queen d2, attacking the pawn on d6. Let's maybe switch to this game. Well, we still have a chance. The time trouble is here. So queen d2 attacking on d6. And I was wondering if after bishop e8, she will play f6.
Oh, I'm sure she will give it a try. How do you stop yourself from making this move?
Well, she could have played it before, but the difference, like, I don't know what is the difference with the queen, like on being on a3 and here. What do you do? No, you don't want to take, yes. With queen on f6, you don't want to play the same game.
Okay, this is surprising. Bishop went back to c8.
Okay. I thought the whole idea was to play bishop e8. Okay, so maybe she's anticipating f6, Nazi, because then the pawn on g4 is dropping and you can play rook g8. Wow, what a subtle nuance, by the way. So white was threatening to play g5. Alexandra didn't play g5, so she played queen d2 and preparing f6. Stavroula, she understood the difference, of course, and she played bishop c8. Prepared, she's getting ready against f6.
And if I still go g5 here, you still meet me with f6, right?
Yes, because I think now you want to play f6, of course.
Let's say rook g2.
Okay, and can we break through in the center? Can we play something like d5 and bishop f5?
Yeah, like d5. I think white can overplay their hand here in this game because what are we attacking, really? Black king is not that weak, and we might have overpushed a bit much, and this knight just too good in this position to fight against.
But Nazi, if we take on d5, I can see that we can play d6 next. So what would be the follow-up? d5, e takes d5. If you play bishop f5, let's say, I think that I can play d6 maybe here.
Okay, I step somewhere.
Oh, okay. And now
it's a pretty pawn, but it's not going any further, right?
Let's say queen somewhere because you want to play rook d7.
Ooh, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Almira, but I think Zhongyi made a big mistake. Alice is now not just better, but winning. We just left it where we said Tan had equalized. What happened? She took on c5. and allowed queen d4.
But with the king on f8, it's even a worse version now.
Wow.
So let's have a look. So queen
Okay,
d8,
mate
queen
is
g8
coming.
is there.
If you go king e7, what do I do? c6? Is this an option? Let's see. King, where do we go?
No, you need to be able to play queen c8 because I think
So
that
this
you are
way?
winning the pawn on b5, no? Queen b8, where do you go?
e7?
Oh, I
There's
thought
no
queen
mate.
c8. No, I thought
you have
yes,
checks.
knight g8 and king d7. I thought that it was mate and that you were forced to play queen c8.
The thing is, black is paralyzed here. Let me make a random move. You have to be very careful. Like, none of your pawns move. Queen doesn't move. You can only move with your knight. However,
So,
okay,
knight
you do have knight
b6.
b6 because this is lost.
And why do you have you don't want to
Okay,
check
now
this.
I'm going to go after your f7 pawn. Yeah, I'm just winning the f7.
But why couldn't you play this immediately? Why did you need this move? King
Maybe
h2?
because if I was hanging, when
So
knight was on c4.
you were driving the knight away.
I'm waiting
Okay.
for you to make a bad move.
Yeah.
So then I can... Wow, okay, after queen d4. 6 minutes for next 8 moves.
And things have changed.
Big time.
Yeah.
Alice getting a second chance in this game.
But if she doesn't see c6, for example, she can play knight g8, but then king...
No, c6 has to be
No,
played.
but knight g8, you cannot play king f8, yes? So you have
I'll
to
go
play
king e8.
king e8. So this is the only variation. Yes, you need to sacrifice this pawn and
You
penetrate
can start
the
with this
second...
move order, but I think... I don't know if the check is necessary, right?
Yeah.
c6 has to happen. If she waits and makes some move, I don't know, king h2 or something, I think after a6, the pawn is no longer hanging and it will be complete equality.
Mazia, I'm forced to take on c6 because then you have queen c5. Yes, if let's say I'm playing queen c7, queen c5 mate is...
it's just
something.
checkmate, right?
Yes.
King d8 and queen f8. Wow. Can you play queen... No, queen b6
Queen b6,
also
no,
losing.
queen d7, yes.
Queen d7 and the mate that way on h7.
So
Okay, c6.
this is forced. If Alice sees it, she will not miss the second chance, yes, in this game.
I can't imagine Alice missing a second win in the game. But okay, the first win was an actual win. Here she is much better. This still requires good technique to convert because it's queen and knight endgame and your king is alone. You're using both your pieces to attack me and win my pawn. So of course, Tan will find some ideas for counterplay. Not that easy.
She's getting very long time. 6 minutes in this position is...
Not enough.
Yes, not enough.
Not enough. However, Alice does have a lot of time, 17 minutes. And look at our game progress graph. Alice was never worse. We know that much, but she had so many opportunities earlier. But again, a big spike now after move 30. Move 30, yes.
But okay, like I feel that she played this game very well. You know, she got the position she wanted. She like mixed plans. It's very important. Shows that she knows this very well. Bishop b2, h4, knight g4. You see, it's like, and she has chosen a very precise move order to obtain the positional advantage. However, I have a feeling that Tan missed the opportunity to equalize very early in the game. Yes, she could have taken on d4.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, okay. Knight g8 check.
Yes.
c6 just still needs to happen on the board.
Or maybe she feels she needs to repeat a few moves, but
You're helping Tan
yes,
get time.
exactly.
Yeah?
You would be helping your opponent. So let's go for c6 here. But c6 here, if like queen c7, then we get the same variation, knight f6, queen c5. So you have to take it.
Yes, c6 absolutely must play move. If you want to play for a win, You don't hesitate, you play c6.
This is the moment of the truth. Yes, Alice Lee is seeking her first Grandmaster norm, and if she defeats Tan Zhongyi, the leader of the tournament today, I think she will feel confident. She will share the lead after the 5th round, and she will need only 2.5 points out of 4 remaining games. Yes.
Of course, she won't be thinking about that, one game at a time, but she does need a win today. That will help her get much closer to her first GM norm. I'm honestly surprised that she's thinking here. It's such an intuitive move. You're taking 0 risks.
Yes, the thing is, she can make a draw or play c6. Yes, so she knows it.
The thing is, it's not like she's giving away the draw after c6. The draw is still there.
So c6, queen c6.
She's going to play it. Okay,
knight f6,
one more repetition. And
again.
after king e7, let's now see c6. There's no way where she takes a draw here, right?
I hope so. So can we try this one more time? So c6, queen a7, check. Yes, king has to go where? King d8.
We were looking at d8, yes.
Yes. First of all, we cannot take on f7 immediately. That was also my question, because then you will take
E5,
on
right?
e5. Yes, and knight f3 is coming.
Yeah, you don't want to allow
so
this.
we
might
can't
lose
allow
here.
this. So that's why we need to give queen b8 check, just to be sure. King e7 is
Of
the
course,
only
queen
move.
c8 is losing
And
because
then
I'm
taking
taking
on
on b5. Yeah.
So king e7 is the only move. And here we need to make a waiting move. I think that Alice needs to see that this is the position, which is coming out of your imagination. Once again, you need to see a few moves ahead. By the way, I think Anna Muzychuk in her interview said that this was one of the most important skills. Yes, to train yourself to visualize this position, and to be sure that here the winning move is like, for example, a quiet move.
The thing is, if you're making a draw, you always have a perpetual here, right? So you can go to this position, then see, can I go for more? Can I try something? She doesn't have a lot of useful moves. I'll say that if you want to keep the knight and queen here, you can move the pawn. You're not going to play f4 and just leave your king completely exposed. So king h2 is literally the only useful move you can make. And the reason why this doesn't work going after your pawn is it's just mate. The queen is stuck here. I can't move the queen. Mate in 1 is coming. Can't move any pawns. So only knight moves. If I go to d2, then you have to calculate that you are winning this knight, right? So let me start with a check.
I don't know if you're winning the knight,
check.
But can you take...
So if you go queen c7, I have queen d4 and I win the knight.
No, king c8, you take on f7, yes?
Knight e7.
Oh, knight e7.
Yeah, so you have to go here.
It's even worse.
And then here I win this way, which is, okay, you might not see queen a5. It's sneaky. But it is winning.
If you take... No, you cannot take on f7 because knight f3, yes? And king h3, knight g1, it's a draw.
Yeah. So black is just in Zugzwang. Most of knight moves are losing. Knight a5 obviously is really bad. So knight b6 is the only move here that doesn't lose the knight right away. But here, now that knight is so far away from your king, there's no knight f3 checks. You just go for the... And of course, e5 pawn is no longer hanging. So now you just play queen f8. This still is not easy to win, but you'll be up a pawn, and it's, of course, only 2-result game.
Alice needs to be sure that, the game is still in control, of course. So she's double-checking her lines. Okay. The second act.
She has no risk.
Yes.
No risk. Second act, yes.
Of our Odyssey, chess Odyssey. Let's see if Alice will play c6. She looks
body
tired.
Language, yes. It tells me she doesn't feel like she's winning. And Tan looks, either she's faking it, like the poker face, that my position's completely fine, or she actually thinks it's fine.
I know. I think that Tan is aware of the danger. in this position. So, by the way, Alexandra Kosteniuk played G5 and
They're following
Stavroula,
our analysis. Yeah, not much has
just
happened
to
in that game.
update you on this game.
In this game now, Alice still no time trouble, but getting down to 10 minutes.
How many moves do we have till the time control?
Let's see, 6 more.
So if she plays knight g8, she can't play knight of 6 back. I think it's a draw.
Yeah.
So if she plays knight g8, she needs to play c6.
And then knight f6.
Yes. So
she cannot let 10 escape so easily and repeat now. At least try c6, get to that position. If you don't find king h2, okay, it's not an easy move to find, but you gotta try. Not including c6, it feels like you're leaving some options on the table, some opportunities for yourself. And is she maybe thinking to start bringing the king out and just play this position with the pawn on c5?
Maybe this is possible as well, of course. Oh, I think that she's going for a draw. Yes.
I don't know. I might see c6 now.
No, wait. The king was on e7. Wait. King d4, king e7. So no, it will be a draw.
No, yes, she has to go c6.
Yes. So, and Tan is looking at her score sheet. This is her last chance. Nazi, c6 has to be played, of course.
Moment of truth. Will Tan escape with a draw here, or will Alice still torture her in the endgame after c6?
And as you can see, Alice was playing this game with 92% accuracy, only a few imprecisions, but she was playing very well. Still,
there's some other moves she could try to keep the position going. This looks so crazy, but she can play f3 because you can't take because of checkmates. And if I play f3, and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to bring the king over. Okay, not to e3. King f2, king e2, improve position slightly.
What if I protect now the pawn on b5? If I play e6?
Course. We know that if you don't take this opportunity now, it's no longer winning. But Alice doesn't know, and she might be considering this as well. I have a feeling the longer she thinks, more likely she's going to take the draw.
Yes, because it's affecting your confidence, and you start seeing ghosts, of course. So,
c6. Just to show one more time. So here, don't take on a7 right away because that allows king f8. Start with knight f6 check. King has to go to e7, and we transpose to the position we've been analyzing. And if you go to f8, we mostly focused on d8. Then I think, again, I give you a check, defending... Oh, sorry, I walked into a mate, of course. King comes back to e7.
And we come to the same position, by the way.
And then king h2. Yeah, it's all forced.
Do we have another move, Nazi, if not king h2? I was thinking maybe if she doesn't see...
We don't have another good move.
a3.
That's why it's tricky.
a3.
a3?
Yes.
The problem is
because
that...
you cannot take on a3. Like so.
Okay, so if you do the exact same thing, I think king was actually better on h2 than it is on g1. What did she play? She played c6. Wow, Alice.
She shows her true character, and we have our game, because I was thinking with 3 draws, like this game cannot be drawn right now. So like we want to see more. Queen a7 is on the board. Bravo.
Bravo, yes. First of all, bravo for taking this chance, and then she just needs to find king h2 now.
Yes, and even bravissimo, you know. I was like, we want to this game to continue, and this fight to continue. So I think it's important for Alice to gain this experience, even if it will end in a draw on a 100th move. Yes, but she will not regret it. Yes.
How often do you have former world champion
on the ropes
against? Yeah, exactly. All right, so queen b8 check is important to force the black king back to e7. Because if you start with king h2 now, yes, the pawn's still not hanging because of queen b8, but I can defend the last rank passively, but it's enough because you can't get to my king anymore. And the knight stays on the good square on c4, now eyeing the pawn on e5. So this check queen b8 is very important, which is found, and they're only one move away from the time control. King e7, of course, will be played, only move. And now one more move until, and this is the move 40. It'd be better if she had 30 minutes now.
Actually, the next critical moment of the game, the pivotal moment, if she finds king h2 or maybe a3, yes.
But she could include one more check now.
Knight g8.
Just
yes.
repeat check.
Of course.
And then think about it.
And even queen a7, queen b8 is also an option.
Yeah, because that would be only twice repeated.
She will get her extra 30 minutes.
That's probably what she's going to do.
Okay, then we will should we switch to the game between Alexandra and Kosteniuk, because players are down to their 5 minutes for Stavroula, 8 minutes for Alexandra. The position is very interesting because Alexandra managed to play g5 and h4. The queen is on f4, supporting this push. She can bring her rook to g2 now.
We're talking about Kosteniuk's game. We moved on from Alice as they're about to reach their time control. You were saying, Almira?
Yes, so as you can see, Alexandra has somewhat improved, even though nothing is really going on, but I feel that even optically, when you see this pawns on g5, f5, h4, rook can come to g2, you can play king h2, rook g1.
Oh, wow. She just played rook g2, and Ivalbar says it's a bad move, but it's the most natural move in the position.
Well, but
is it some central break?
I think so, because we analyzed this move previously. So whenever your opponent is attacking, of course, you have to break, to open up the center. So d5 is such a natural move, and I don't think that Stavroula will miss this opportunity. If you take on f6, g takes f6. What do you have? Do you want
You're not taking on the queen.
No, here I wanted out. Maybe both options are actually
good. I was thinking take with the queen just to keep the g file somewhat closed.
Oh, yes, you're right. Because I thought that white is going to play king h2 and rook g1. Yes, but here it's...
King h2, I'm thinking, reminds me of the Alice's game. It's engraved in my brain now. Wow, and d5 is on the board. Stavroula, all these maneuvers with the bishop back and forth, and then she sneakily manages to put the bishop on b7, and now d5. I think
Stavroula is on fire.
She is, and she might start to outplay Alexandra if she's not careful here.
So d5, if you take g takes f6, okay, queen. Can you take on d5 once again? How can we? Because you don't want to take c d5. Oh, c5 and then bishop d5. Wow.
This would, if I saw my opponent play this, I'd think I'm lost, because this bishop comes alive. And why did I push all my pawns?
Okay,
yeah,
but then
scary.
Okay, let's try rook d5. What else can I have? Bishop d5. And maybe rook g3.
And now I want to go
But black
this way,
has no problems whatsoever.
No, none whatsoever, because here, again, queen f6 looks fine. Even g takes f6 looks fine.
By the way, we have...
Alexandra has taken on d5, and we'll see now. Stavroula immediately plays c5. Yeah, she's really on fire. With just 5 minutes on the clock.
Yes, Stavroula has this, crocodile. It's one of the species, the most dangerous, but which survived everything. So
for millions of years.
Yeah, millions of years, and she's waiting for her moment, for her prey, and it feels like this. She was surrounding, being patient, and now here it is, d5 and c5.
Exactly what she's been doing in this game. I just want to ask the question: is bishop b5 playable? Yes, I'm giving away 2 pieces for the rook, but I think because of c4, I was hoping if I can keep these pawns alive.
Oh, c4.
But I'm not keeping them alive.
No, but c4 is... no, but you can play rook d4. If you play queen c5, yes.
Can
because,
I knight c6?
Oh, because knight c6.
Oops, we're
yes,
we're
tired.
blundering.
Yes. Yes, queen d4, knight f3. Yes, so you cannot play this, but maybe you cannot take on c4 because then I will play rook c2. Like your back rank is very weak.
Bishop's there on b7, right? So let's see. The knight e3 is coming.
Oh.
Well, knight e3 is not the
Rook,
scariest.
can I play rook e?
Just
rook,
knight e5, honestly.
Knight e5.
And then this should be a draw, but is it an easy draw?
Says
okay.
who?
Yeah, we have a pawn, at least. Without d6 pawn, of course, white is much worse. But here,
rook c7 is a huge threat, so you have to play something on c6. So bishop c6, nice here, of course.
Yeah.
And then maybe rook d4, going for the pawn. Yes, on b4. I'm blundering again. What is happening?
I think we just don't see knight of 3. It's just not on our radar.
I'm been too excited. The position is too open now. Because before there was a bishop protecting the square, the queen protecting the square.
Remember how bad this bishop was?
Yeah.
For 35 moves in this game.
And the thing is that Alexandra is facing a very difficult decision with 5 minutes on her clock. She needs to realize that maybe bishop b5 is her best chance. So she needs to assess this resulting endgame and to be sure that it's equal. By the way, if you play knight c2...
Problem is that it's not a forced endgame. Maybe Stavroula can just move the rook. We didn't consider this option. And now if you... I don't know where you want to go. If you go to c2, I'll take on d5. I sacrificed a pawn, but I still get this monster bishop, and knight f3s are still coming.
No.
And I think Stavroula would go for this instead of the endgame.
And if
5 minutes for both of these players for the next 3 moves.
Let me just glance at the game between Alice and Zhongyi. Alice is still thinking.
No move has been made.
Yes, king e7, because she knows that she can make a few checks and weigh her options later. So let's watch this game closely because it's about to reach time control.
In a critical moment in the position as well, it can all collapse so quickly for white. I think taking on f6 is already a big mistake. You have to take on b5. I think that's her best option. And then let's check. So after rook d6, can I go knight d3? At least get rid of one of your monster pieces.
How about rook d5?
Oh, I'm pinned. No, this is terrible.
You have to play.
I can't even walk into this.
Rook d2. But then I think I will blunder knight f3 at some point once again. So I'm pretty sure.
Avoid this.
I think all you're doing, Nazi, is forcing me into the positions that where I'm going to blunder.
Well, this knight has been so good all game. It deserves to fork something on f3. Sooner or later, it's coming.
It deserves its fork. Yes,
exactly. It's earned it. And if I drop back knight c2, you still take with the bishop and maybe rook g3 to avoid this.
Yes, but I feel that here, Nazi, your pieces are completely discoordinated. Yeah. Yes, even if you reach the time control with this position, I feel let's say, move your bishop some b7, bishop b7. I want to trade the rooks and
so
to invade, the d file.
The first rank and my king completely open.
No, because I can even take with my queen. Rook d6, queen d6, and then queen d2, queen d1, rook d2.
Alexandra has played bishop b5, her best option, and now key moment. Will Stavroula go for that endgame where I think Kosteniuk will save that or play rook d6 much. I think it's much stronger. Keeps her winning chances very much alive.
So after cb4, bishop d7, and rook d7, and rook d7 is the only move, yes?
My computer does not want to go in this endgame.
Maybe queen d7, but then you play c4 anyway, yes?
Yeah.
So rook d7, and I think we have
no rook d6.
A move. No, c takes b4. They're going for this endgame.
This is good news for Kosteniuk.
But I think that Alexandra is already, like her mindset is probably the following. That's like she has nothing to lose. It's just like she has to believe like that she can come back. You know, she's playing a very sharp position, so and she found the best idea here.
She did. She absolutely did, with very little time on her clock as well.
But once again, so rook d7, c4,
and queen c5 check. If there was no queen c5, I'd be even happy for white, but yeah, you lose the pawn. You have to trade queens because d5 is hanging as well. You gotta keep this pawn alive.
Ah, Nazi, rook g4. I just thought now because we didn't see this move. Rook g4.
There's rook e4.
Yes, I finally managed to find the square where I don't blunder anything. So
okay.
Yes, and you win on b4. Yes.
Yeah, so just to point out, this is not winning because of rook e4. And okay, if we're taking b4, then we are not worried about losing this game anymore.
And bishop d5, rook c4 was just to mention.
Yes, definitely pin. So maybe knight d6 here, but we take on b4, and again, I don't think white's risking much in this endgame.
So Alexandra has saved the day, I think, with this idea.
The worst is over in this position. Yeah, and I think players are also very close to reaching move 40, just one move away. So has Alice made a move?
Yes, Alice decided to give a check on g8, and after king d7, the players have reached time control. So I think that Alice will take some time here.
Yeah, I think we reached that moment where both games that are in progress reach time control, and they're going to take long things. And Almira, we haven't looked at the pie charts in a while, so let's take a look once again to remind everyone who was the pre-tournament favorite. And then we'll jump and see, since yesterday, who's the favorite. Pre-tournament, it's your pick, Bibisara Assaubayeva at 18%, then Zhongyi at 15.7%, and Muzychuk not far behind from 10%. And look at Carissa and Alice below at 6% and 3%.
Maybe let's have a look at their chances to win the tournament after the fourth round.
Absolutely. We do have a sole leader, Zhongyi, so I'm not surprised to see more than half of the pie is hers.
Almost 60% chances to win the tournament for Zhongyi. Bibisara Assaubayeva is at 17%, and Divya Deshmukh is at 8.5%.
But you know, today Alice had such a good chance to beat a 10. That would change the pie chart completely. And speaking of which, we only have 2 games left. Only 4 ladies in the playing hall. We have Alice against 10 and Kosteniuk playing against Stavroula, fighting for their... I think they've been playing already for almost 5 hours. Let's jump in and start with Alice's game. We have this interesting queen and knight endgame.
Yes, this endgame is quite a thriller, Nazi, because I think Alice missed a chance to have a big advantage.
Yes, this hidden move king h2 puts black in somewhat of a zugzwang, and then she had very good winning chances. For example, if knight makes a regular move, then you lose the knight with checks. But king h2 was not found. She played a check and then played, and then played a3. She had the same idea. She wants to put black in zugzwang, but turns out here Tan has a very good move, queen a6, which she found, and all the correct moves have been made since then. Black's king in the middle of the board, but not afraid. Some pawns got traded. We definitely don't want to trade queens.
Yes, and it's very important that this queen is protected. Yes, otherwise Alice would have won on the spot. So the king runs for its life.
It does, and this is the current position after king h2. Actually, I see that on your board they've made more moves, so let me refresh to catch up. There we go. After king h2, Zhongyi played queen a8. Very good move. Check, takes the pawn. I thought Alice wanted to just take here and go to this queen endgame with an extra pawn. Of course, it's a draw. Instead, what did she play? Queen g7. Okay, she's threatening some discovery checks.
So, king f5.
Or king e6. I don't think there's a big difference,
but
right?
king e6, I can take on g6.
Okay, knight e5.
Okay, knight.
I
Oh.
want to trick you.
Oh, once again, this idea is on the board and you
But
have
then who
a
knows what
perpetual.
happens in the knight endgames. I mean, I do have a passer on the b file, but I'm down a pawn on the other side, so... Oh, we saw a crazy knight endgame yesterday. One is enough. So let's play king f5.
King f5, but then what was Alice's idea here?
By the way, 2 minutes and 30 seconds for Alice, and this is the final time control. She's not going to get any additional 30 minutes. What does she want to play? Knight where?
She needs,
G6?
yes, she needs.
I guess we'll find. Actually, king e6 was chosen by 10 and queen g6 on the board. Knight e5 is definitely coming next. The only move, everything else is, of course, losing. Yep, it's on the board. And
But
now
then
play
if you
queen
play
e4.
queen h6, then there is a draw. Knight f3,
Yep.
knight g1.
If queen h6, we'll
You
go
have to
home
play
early.
king h3.
But if we see queen e4, does black have to take?
I don't know, but if you take on e4, let's just check this endgame. Knight e4 and maybe b4 immediately.
And king's coming to d5. Yeah, this needs to be calculated. You know, both sides could lose this. Of course, it should be equal and triple zeros, but knight endgames are so tricky.
But king d5, you will always put your knight on d2, controlling the b3 square, and then sacrifice
And
your
king
knight,
is
of
coming
course.
closer and closer, yeah, and who knows? I mean, the pawn on h5 is helping very much. White cannot easily create a pass pawn. But Alice has chosen queen h6, allowing the perpetual with knight f3. What do you think? Do you think Tan will take it immediately or play for something else? So king has to go to h3 only move. The funny thing is I can go to g5. I don't need to go to g1 because you can't take mate in one. You have to go back and then I repeat. Same, of course, this way.
Yes, I think Tan will go for it. Knight f3.
Yeah. If you don't, well, I'm still threatening discovery checks, and I don't see how we can avoid it. King e7? No, that allows queen g7 check, king f7.
Queen h5. Can
Then I take
yes, then I
this,
take
but
this.
I guess you can just play queen f4, and why am I doing this, you know? Yeah, knight f3 check, and we expect a draw now. What a fight, and Alice had winning chances twice. Second one was harder. Finding king h2 was definitely more difficult. But still, kudos to her for fighting so hard for so long, because she could have made a draw 20, 30 moves ago.
Yes, and knight f3 is on the board. Alice goes king h3. And I think we're about to witness the repetition.
Yes, can't
avoid
it.
it.
Is she going to go to g1? Why not go to g5? It's more picturesque. The beauty.
Meanwhile, Alexandra, Kosteniuk and Stavroula Tsolakidou are still fighting in a very complex position.
Yes, we will watch this game as soon as this ends. We are going to have a handshake very soon. I think Alice is a bit disappointed. She knows she had better chances, but at the end of the day, she just drew the former women's world champion.
Yeah. So Tan Zhongyi will remain our leader. 4 out of 5. The draw with the black pieces against Alice Lee feels like a win, by the way.
Yes. Alice is showing her some lines. Does Alice speak Chinese? Mandarin, I wonder.
Yes, I think so.
So they must be speaking
They
Mandarin.
might be analyzing, yes.
All right. Well, we have one game left. Let's jump back to Kosteniuk and Stavroula. They're also repeating. Have they also found a draw? Let me back up. So in this position, rook e2 was played, check, and goes back. And so far, they've repeated twice. What an interesting material imbalance, right? 2 pieces for rook and 3 pawns.
Yes, and Alexandra managed to push all her pawns to d5, c5, b4. So I feel that if Stavroula wants to play for a win here, it's
risky, right?
It's risky,
It's
yes.
very risky. Actually, when I just said it out loud, you have rook and 3 pawns for 2 pieces. Why isn't white playing this for a win?
Well, because
It's the king, right?
Yes, it's the king, of course, but at the same time, let's say if Stavroula will make a move like king h7, just to avoid queen d8 check. Let's say b5. I'm pushing another pawn, and then I will go for something like rook e2. No? Why did she want to play rook e2 here?
She just stopped the clock and is claiming a 3-move repetition with rook e2. You know, technically, it's not a correct claim. Alexandra can claim after rook e2. But okay, they agreed my allowed because Alexandra was fine with it. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but we had all 5 draws, Almira.
Yes.
But not without fights. I mean, we expected Alice to win her game. Who else had chances today?
Oh, Carissa was having a very interesting game against...
Could have gone either way.
Anna Muzychuk.
This game between Alexandra and Stavroula was very interesting. And the 2 draws between Vaishali and Humpy, that was... there's nothing else to play for. And Divya and Bibisara was also a quick draw. So let's take a look at the standings now after all 5 games ended in a draw. Not much changed.
Yes, Zhongyi is leading the event 4 out of 5. Then 4 players are chasing her: Bibisara, Assaubayeva, Divya, Deshmukh, Stavroula, Tsolakidou, Alice Lee. Then Anna Muzychuk and Carissa have 2.5 out of 5. Humpy, Koneru 2 out of 5. Vaishali, Rameshbabu 1.5. And Alexandra Kosteniuk scored her first half a point.
I'm sure it feels good because now she can forget about the losses and start thinking about winning some games. Tell us about upcoming pairings for tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow is our free day, by the way.
Oh, sorry, after tomorrow.
Yes, so we will see each other Monday.
2 days, yes.
So Zhongyi is Sunday. So Zhongyi is having the white pieces against Alexandra Kosteniuk, and Nazi, you know that Tan is winning almost everything with the white pieces.
100% score so far.
So Stavroula Tsolakidou is facing Divya Deshmukh. Carissa is playing with white pieces against Bibisara Assaubayeva. Humpy, Koneru will take on Alice Lee, and Anna Muzychuk will face Vaishali Rameshbabu.
Well, can't wait to be back in 2 days to see how these games go, but let's take a look at our predictions that we made before the first round. My pick, Alice Lee, she had such a good chance today to defeat the leader and share first place, but didn't quite convert. Bibisara had a very easy day today, and then Carissa, well, everybody drew today.
Yes, there are so many players that are still in contention.
Yes, but I'm sure everybody, including us and the players, are excited for the rest day. Do you have any big plans?
Well, I have a big celebration coming up, Nazi, so I'm excited about it.
Can't wait. Well, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow is the rest day. Enjoy, and we'll see you again in 2 days.
See you soon.
Good night from St. Louis.
This has been a presentation of the St. Louis Chess Club. Any reproduction or distribution of this content without the express written consent of the St. Louis Chess Club is prohibited.